Good point.
Chen, if you want to go for that.
Oh yeah, Enchantress has been very like.
EO-nya lu defend, takut lu lawan EO-nya.
It's definitely something OG likes.
Iya anjing EO defend.
Yeah, definitely. I think Lothar is the only position on 5 that's comfortable on the Enchantress. Usually when it's run by 5s on the other teams, they're playing it because they have to be playing it. Like it got too counter to be put on a position 3, so that's why it's played as a position 5. But I think whenever I see Lothar on position 5 Enchantress, he looks so comfortable on that hero.
5 seconds remaining.
So there are ways to beat in lane. That's a little bit of a turn here in OG. They've got something up their sleeve plan here. Like this is like not at all what we expected to see based on the
dikasih
today.
I think I saw them run this one.
Space created.
I think these are the 2 heroes. I think they dual lane these, and it was Seb playing the tree, it was JARAX playing this Grimstroke, and they went so much pressure on the safe lane. They would just ink swell this tree protector, we just beat on them, and then Grimstroke would sit in the back and throw constant nukes, and it was actually insane how much they were doing. A lot of magic damage right off the bat from a Grimstroke, and you also have a hero that can prevent Enchantress from getting her heal off. Not only with the stun, but with that Phantom that can be really obnoxious. If you don't get your heal instantly as Ench, sometimes you can get burst.
And it can be really nice as well if you have overgrowth. You can just essentially lock her in position, land some other stuns potentially, prevent her from breaking the silence. Earth Spirit, great catch hero. Definitely going to be helpful for setting up kills. Good at punishing and catching heroes like Tree as well.
Yeah, one of Crit's signature heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like the OG 2 picks against them.
Mengeliat private jet,
might not have damage, but I think
Private
it comes
jet
from
penak KRAKEN.
Hobsons and
Oh iya ya.
heroes.
Yang kiri Kuroki, cok. Iya tahu, cok. Kayak bocah warnet
I've
tuh
seen them run a
Kuroki.
lot of Grimstroke with the, I think they were the first ones that I want to say at the MDL Major when they were
Ala
doing Grimstroke with
Rick,
Phantom
yeah.
Assassin, and I know they had Maximus in a couple of those games, so we might not see that
Bajia
happen,
Bob
but it's
Marley
great because of the
anjir.
Enchantress. We've seen the rise of the PA as well, and just the combo, the ink
Dulu
swell
namanya
with that
Puper
quick Phantom
Rastafari
strength to get on
Uye.
top of targets is definitely a devastating one that I've seen them run a
Uye
lot.
masih
They really do
dipakai
like
kan.
that combo.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Jadi
Another
Pupe.
team earlier in
Budi
the group or in the
Pupe.
main stage
Yo.
used
Yo, halo udah tuh.
in the safe lane as well against her. That can work well because at least then you can spin to guarantee damage, possibly kill her. But it's difficult to lane against her. We see a lot of carries that'll just kind of zone out of the lane at some point when just kind of let her take the tower. But potentially OG could defend that if they, depending on how much tree armor they get. Since she doesn't push very well, tree armor, a little bit of defense there, it could prevent her from snowballing the lane as
Beli
well.
carry apa ya dia?
Wondering if EG wants something like a,
Nah,
I think they want
it's
at least
bad.
some strong 5 position hero. What I'm looking at is actually
Backstreetnya anak di
last
ban.
game, even though it's FY playing it, Jakiro.
Ini ngebannya
I think that's
ngeban
one of the heroes
ini
we
cuk,
still play a
ngeban
lot
hero
versus Train Protect because you
signature
have this
aja.
really slow wind up and it just secures the
Takut
lane.
loh
Because Tree
iki.
can sometimes just
Sama
crush
signature
your
hero
safe
ya,
zone.
oke.
I think that could be a possibility, and I think it's a good hero that works really well for EG.
Oke, 2 game
with the Earth
percaya.
Spirit in combination.
Bisa jadi.
Attack speed slows
Oke,
against anybody
win-win.
that attacks slow, and the other thing,
Kayak
tons
sih
of
gitu.
damage over time. It basically
Pegang apa? Gue
nullifies
pengen
his armor,
nonton yang
if
seru
he
dah.
wants to use it to save people mid-game.
G's turn to ban.
Jangan yang gak
Namanya
seru.
kecil hurufnya.
Batrider
Luar
ban
sana
a
ada
potential
lecupan.
matchup counter
Salah.
against Enchantress, or just good for the lineup here? What do you guys think?
I think they were maybe thinking about a position 5 Batrider from Lothar because it provides the. It's very strong in lane, the position 5 Batrider.
Mana Spectre kah?
Actually,
Di
they
ban
have ran it
Spectre.
quite a few times in group stage, if I remember now.
10 seconds
Sorry,
remaining.
Interesting.
Yeah, Lothar is very good at these like weird heroes that are not traditional position
seconds
5s,
remaining.
but it's very good at the laning.
OG's
It's
turn
always
to
surprising
pick.
too.
Dikasih pakai Lestrak. Enggak, Lestrak juga di ban. Siren di ban.
Buka.
ET di ban. Pakai apa cuk udah begini?
Mantan live gak di YouTube? Live lu play?
Iya, Blay.
Yoi.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Evil geniuses.
Phantom Assassin.
PA. Wah, ini perang awal ini, cu. Si Ana di dive ini.
Pasti.
Hero dive ini, cu, lihat nih. Apa ya? Batrider di ban.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Beng, di lo ada suara komentator nggak, Beng, nih, Beng, sekarang, Beng?
Enggak,
Sama.
kekat.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Fastering dong, Blay. Aduh, gue penikmat doang, Lim. Gak bisa gue yang gitu-gituan, Blay. Oke, 2 periode. Kayak sih gitu. Nggak tahu deh.
Fly.
Nge-lag ini. Server. Prediksi, wah terbukti lah. Tapi si
Lama
Sapu
juga ya dekasnya ya.
mikir tak?
Apa?
Mikir anjing ngeluarin kertas.
Ben sana sini aja. Biar musuh bingung.
Ben punch, ben yes. Gak main tackle udah.
Untung
Oh,
tak kayak
anjing.
Oh, itu tackle tilted kan.
Poker
Tiap
mid.
tiap tackle krono ya dipulangin sama Willow Lik.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Zikir ya.
Tuh, tackle dulu tadi si Oki.
Absolutely perfect.
Pakai foto Roteo semua anjing.
Absolutely perfect.
Iya, Pak.
Di mana ngeliatnya, Blay?
Berapa menit?
Harus ya.
Tuh iya.
Tahu tuh. Mukanya hotel yang
10
songong lagi.
seconds remaining.
Yang lagi salaman.
Waktu salaman anjing.
5
Oh ya?
seconds remaining.
Iya.
Ya waktu salaman itu.
Oh iya anjing. Tengil.
OG's turn to ban.
Untuk Ogi belum pernah kalah ya?
Kalau 2 kali di grup stage.
Oh, berarti GALAX kelihatannya hero yang belum pernah kalah. Waduh. Waduh.
TB.
Susah tuh, TB tuh.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Ini
remaining.
kan Ana bikin Sang Yas perang awal lah di dive-divein ya.
Storm di band nih. Pedih cuy, ada Storm.
Wah, tidak Sarmadar Spirit. Auto silent ya.
Tapi kalau artis yang pegang TB mah kayaknya artis lul anjing.
Evil geniuses turn to ban.
Di band.
Kalau panjang apa cepet?
I estimate the probability of
Aduh.
winning to be above 99%.
99%.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Halo. Belum. Back bitch. Apa ini ayo midnya? Midnya siapa?
Bisa
Ya,
jadi
oke.
sih Thompson Zeus sih.
Art Warden.
Evil geniuses turn to pick. Turn to pick. Lena.
Art
Itu invoker aja.
Warden. Art Warden di nerf apa ya? Enggak kan? Enggak.
Oh iya, gua
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Invoker ya?
Choose your hero.
Invoker Thompson.
Oh, di band Zeus ya.
Zeus di band.
Tuh kan.
Invoker tackle nih. Wah, Sumail pakai Lina. Wah, ini perang chat build cow seru cow. Ini tujuannya oke beli chat build buat ini cuk, momen ini cuk.
Oh iya, kalau nanti beli di mana anjing?
Apa?
Yang if you learn itu dapetnya di mana?
Dota Plus.
Emang dapat dan Dota Plus
Hero
kan?
itu.
Hero itu, Ember Spirit.
Namanya hero.
Ember Spirit tuh nggak salah.
Oh.
Ember
Lu
Spirit.
nggak main
Tergantung hero-nya ngomong apa.
Iya, kalau chat kayak mereka tuh.
Nonton di Dota 2-nya Sen. Iya, di
ES
Dota 2.
offline anjing.
PS lawan pohon. Oh enggak, Cuk. Oh iya, Cuk.
Bukan
Notel yang
Earth
pohon.
Spirit maksudnya. Air Spirit, Earth
CM-nya keren amat anjing skinnya.
Yo,
Arkana, Bray.
Berapa itu, Blay?
400 Arkana. Arkana doang belum setnya.
Oh.
Top itu helm rambut apa itu dan? Yang keren linanya tuh mahal itu anjing.
Belum yang emas, Cuk. Itu yang kemarin Cina ini fake ori kalau. Emas, Bud.
Mahal.
Mahal tuh, Dan.
Belasan juta.
Mahal lah, Cuk.
Info tua, Cuk. Wildan, Cuk.
Matamu Felix, Bud. Sorry.
Absolutely perfect.
I
Absolutely
estimate the
perfect.
probability of I
Rating,
estimate the
rating.
probability of
Total number of teleport cancel by stun.
99%.
No,
Kau ada Beng suara itunya, Beng?
ada.
Ada? Enggak ada.
Enggak ada aku juga.
Mengelek ini.
Normally.
Apa? Total number player of chat 10 menit 0 sampai 5.
Lakat patata.
Player who get longest skill streak. Apa ya longest
Spam
skill?
semua anjing jadwalnya.
Absolutely perfect.
Ana nggak mungkin. Sumail, Cuk.
Nge-crash gua jembut.
Nice.
Highest network at
Absolutely
10.
perfect.
Ana.
Oh, enggak. Enggak.
Lakat matata. Formalin.
Main buru anjing.
Spektator chat berisik matiin. Cuy.
Udah masuk ke semuk anjing.
Absolutely perfect.
Dikasih foto notel anjing.
Wah, gila, Blay.
Anjing sih.
Wah, tolol sih.
Totalitas bangsat.
Anjing.
Keren.
Ternyata Thompson ngepick invoker itu cuman buat
Anjing.
fight me.
Gokil.
Niat
Gokil
banget anjing OG ini bangsat.
Gokil juga nih gua nih.
Masa foto notel semua Pepe.
Kasih bendera notel nih tiap lane kayaknya. Lihat dah.
Ini ada suara komentator ya, Cuk.
Ada, Blay. Ya Allah.
Oh, di atas kok nggak dikasih bendera notel, Cuk. Yang Rusia lancar, yang Inggris selek.
Rip anak.
Rip anak.
Iya, gue juga yang Inggris kagak ada.
Absolutely perfect.
Ya, anak sedih nih, Cuk. Ini baru. Perang nih.
Pon bisa ini.
Ya.
Mati lagi
Mati.
dong anak. Wah, hampir Cuk.
Oh.
Fight me.
Sakit bener ya.
Mati dong. Kak.
Fight me. Fight me lo, Cuk. Disatuin ngomong fight me kok asu kan.
Optionnya anjing ya.
Top dead.
Wah, tapi Thompson main quasback nih cuman controlling doang.
Mati nih Thompson.
Ada verifier. Mata ya.
Babang si Maul. Dapet regen.
Dan
Aduh.
Normally.
masjid.
One of my favorites.
Cuk, siksa cuk anak ini. Wah,
Mati lagi Thompson.
Goodness.
Ditip.
Tip cuk.
Ngetrol anjing itu Thompson Pepe emang.
Tanya miss
lo. Guyonan. Kalau tak
Lah iya, pemain lo, wadal Thompson iki cuk.
dia punya channel.
Dia main lo cuk, enggak ada Henry gerbang cuk.
Ya iya.
Wah, sedih.
Pohon invisible terus ya pohonnya.
Apaan tuh?
Enggak kalau dekat pohon.
Aura Jam yang ini.
Udah main nih.
Box baru.
Udah. Tiap kali ternyata buat semua temennya, Bek.
Tiap nge-regen.
Setiap mati hidup lagi sama dia
Dire
naikin level.
structures are fortified.
Keluar bubble-bubble gitu.
Oh itu
Wah, Cuk.
boss walk ya?
Bukan, skill 3-nya CM yang baru, kotak baru.
Bagus banget anjing. Tolong.
Itu semua temennya, Cuk.
your fingers.
Sama setiap kali naikkan levelnya skill 3.
Wah, networknya set sih. 3 core di atas. Aduh.
Mati, Cuk.
叫第六足球在粘着一个水果水两个人，土猫没什么来，但是这里靠这个回头又被苏麦克龙破绽收掉了。
这常在河边走，哪有不湿鞋的？своему второму AX или что это? Ну пока Сумаил действительно очень хороший. Короче, когда Сумаил в реально хорошей форме,
Terus nge-lag. Sampai nge-lag cuk Dota cuk. Rusak Dota. Buat scene game nge-lag ya?
Enggak.
Kau ada dan suara spek ini ya. Casternya.
Ada, Cuk. Ada, Cuk.
Kau ada, Beng?
Enggak ada. Enggak.
Sama, gue juga
Harus
nggak ada.
relock
Cuk.
ya?
SKRFF.
Iya, SKRFF. Keluar Dota masuk lagi ya?
Coba aja. Aku sih aman kok.
Kok anjing nontonnya?
Jangan nonton in game. Mau nonton di mana, Mas? Halo. Kira nobar itu semudah itu.
Samudra Indria. Mati lagi di Thompson nih.
Ah,
Udah play.
ada.
Dapat di MP.
Keluar Dota masuk lagi, Beng. Ada, Beng.
Keluar Dotanya.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Mati kamu Thompson. Mati balik gridnya, Cuk.
Mati lagi takut.
Enggak.
Ruin, but no tail doesn't have legacy. He's 1-0 build,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
build. Nothing. Lame.
Nah.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Ya meninggal.
Aduh. Gerak.
Play ini anjing juga ya, ngetahun-tahun juga nih.
Wajib cuk. Panas sih, panas.
you have to commit as a terrible
That's actually part of the
Dire's bottom tower is
So
under
the obvious
attack.
thing is that this the PA, you have high armor, so
Mati
you're
dong
good
PA-nya
against
kalau di press.
hard hitting physical attacks. Second part, Terrorblade is a really at force powers
Gue bisa reload kemana?
to zero.
Malah.
So
Wah,
they stay
musuhnya tuh.
like a team move. Protector in the early stage of the game as a carrier. Can't really ask for anything better than that.
Kasih
Again.
tender juga anjing.
Fight me.
This guy have no chill, man.
Bah, ketahuan.
Iya.
Puter balik ngapain, Cuk.
Awkward tuh.
Dua-duanya balik anjing.
Awkward anjing.
gitu dia aja.
Lihat aja nih tim fightnya RTX gimana.
Kamu Midas menit 7.
Midas with and Basilius. It's really good times for us.
Amat gila.
The CS strong. All top sitting on the EG side. His CS is probably now again this bottom lane. Is he going to
Itachi? Hitam tapi
now he
dapat Aster tengil nih lihat Thompson.
Ana is still doing well, and this top lane, I mean, is Ana a good game, and his game looks solid right now. Sitting on 58, same as the Terrible. They both level 6. Are having a good thing, good game and are happy.
He doesn't have that power buff up he's used to, so he's having to build the Battle Fury, the Fan Assassin. Just finding that fun.
Oke, berapa satu? Simbolnya EG maksud.
Now hitting boots and able to fund it. Maybe not exactly the way he planned to do that. It's
Cok masuk nasi itu cok. Wah.
That was
Asu ya.
Ngawur.
Cok masuk nasi itu cok. Wih.
Oke, bener prediknya.
Next level dive.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It all helps. Gotta find what you can as OG right now, as your playmaking potential, as was talked about by the panel, is mainly coming from Thompson, but since he lost his lane,
This guy has no chill.
the tempo is not that high. So at least you can use Grimstroke with Shaker, and well, they're still hitting the tower. I reckon, do you want to defend this somewhat?
it feels like they should, but they're gonna finish the tier 1 and then TP down?
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Actually, yeah, you can't.
Wah gila miskin semua cuy, oke.
The damage is taking forever without the creep wave. So maybe they're okay with it. They're wasting time with Notel. He actually came underneath the observer ward under the bottom room. So Fly was just waiting for the attack to come in from Thompson.
Tapi ini sekali
Thompson's gonna walk through the same ward that Notel just did. EG know exactly what Thompson is up to. And with him starting to play between mid and bottom, they're absolutely not defending this tower now.
They've worked it out.
It takes them so long, but you know, slow and steady, eventually you'll get it. If nobody comes down here, GPRO has been pushing this tower for like a full minute.
Kalah tapi cuy semua lane.
Come and help him finish it off the last 8%.
I actually think you get more levels out of this too by being in the lane. And stacking into the tier 1 tower a bit. It's the last remaining tier 1 tower for OG. They're really having trouble controlling their map area, but normally OG sacrifice heroes in the early game. It seems the tier 1 tower is the next thing on the menu for OG. Notel can't come close, he's in range of the sentry, S4, doing a good job not to reveal the fact that he can see him, not reacting in any way, but now the creeps move towards him. Notel realizes they can see me. In fact, not 1, not 2, but 3 sentry wards had to be planted in that mid lane just to see things.
But it's well worth it. They got the biggest tower of the game. And there was no fighting from OG because Triand is only level 5, so they didn't have the overgrowth. They didn't have so much both supports from OG sitting on those level 5s when EG supports are level 6.
Mati cuy.
What? That was really good timing on the end.
Wah, itu gimana anjing bisa totem gitu?
What?
Bye, mati.
Tapi yo gak ngono cuy. Wah, di TP gitu.
Wah, di TV ini.
Gimana? He seems to be the master of the memes on OG. Like it's a little bit of a rebuttal.
Oke, fight. Nah ya, dapat satu.
Digetok Manotel.
Tos but.
Vessel charges in this game. They're gonna kill the Enchantress.
Masa ya tos
Until
but.
S4 has a chance, that's the one way they can kill her outside of using
Blay
the
Manotel tos
hardcore physical burst.
Udah baikan itu Blay.
Actually going in for just the Dragonlance to begin with. I don't know if it's going to be the full Hurricane Pike, but they're looking for initiation. ES rolling forward.
Anjing pengelapan Thompson.
Haste rune is up. on the board. And S4 being watched by Naruto. They know he's
Mati
coming
loh
in
ini.
inside, so Top knows how much he can get away with. Corsair trying to get his own stun.
Dicot semua
Hitting
capek, bud.
every
Fight me.
movement impossible. In fact, Jirax will die. Starts letting it go. Two heroes down for OG.
This guy has no chill.
We've expected and already seen from them this tournament.
The games that we saw on the main stage yesterday was also newbie giving OG flat out their best picks. They gave Live and Mag.
Mereka kasih
Just
space
come
buat
in
ini cuy,
with
buat
better
save
preparation.
dana.
Ini
Iya,
sama
They know
Ana.
exactly how
Dekernya
they want to
berapa?
approach this first game, and they're looking great so far.
Udah jadi cuy dekernya.
Ana and RTZ are
Next
literally
smoke
not
ini,
getting
seru,
involved in
cuy.
anything. They've been playing top both of them for pretty much 13 minutes straight, not
Top
moving
set,
across the map.
rusak doang.
Actually, not true. RTZ might have been part of the push one of the times.
Halo 3 orang, halo.
Ya. Ah, disempak. Aduh, nice. Tapi jantren cuy,
Halo.
Wah, sep. Halo. Aduh.
Nah,
Offset.
Overconfidence with a capital Seb.
That is the most ambitious TP of the main event. I think. He TP'd right next to Alina with Light Struck already ready.
Maybe he's like, oh,
That was a nice blink
he's
reveal.
gonna be out of mana, right? Maybe there's a chance.
It's a good blink reveal.
Tadi
but
kalau
at the same
dapet
time, you
Lina
would have
sih,
loved to get
wah.
a 4 kill. You got the
Kayak.
two supports. You got the Maiden and the Shaker with your Echo Slam. You get a little bit
Iki
bloodthirsty and
Estane
Thompson
mati
starts
kena
chasing.
kali
And Thompson was
Ana.
kind of lucky to stay alive there
Lihat,
too. He
lihat.
almost died to
Lihat,
S4 and you
lihat
just
Ana.
you see the problem they have with this Enchantress. They were 4 heroes against Enchantress and she was fissure locked off. And it wasn't even close. Like they were tempted to try for it, not possible without the PA. The vessel will change things, but it's not there just yet for Thompson. He needs another 200 gold.
Same with the Battle Fury for Ana. Maybe he starts getting involved after this is able to arrive. The win probability is keeping it nice and close, 51-49. That's what we want to see. Already had an amazing day of Dota 2. Let's keep the streak going late into the Shanghai night. The 15-minute bounty runes in 10 seconds.
Looks like a 2 for 2.
Yeah, it should be. EG will claim the north, OG will claim the south.
What have we
There it is.
This'll come in handy.
Mati ko Nana, weh.
ya.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, Golden. Up towards top. Crit won't have a crack at Ana. Not easy, doesn't have any damage or a stun.
Bye.
Which is required to stop Ana. So cooldown crit.
Cutting one
Kind
chat
of,
real quick.
it's kind of the issue when rolling ball became the stun instead of just the kick.
Yeah.
Then they move it towards the mid lane. Rolling ball once again over towards Thompson. G.Skill is the end lane. Gonna put down the E-Squad, but Thompson demonstrated to be more than enough to kill him. He turns for the EMP tornado. And death will burn mana, but that's it. Fly once again being very liberal with that freezing field.
They're immediately putting this lens to use. Sumail's lens, or well, not immediately, but in that instance they are putting it to use, showcasing how good this item can be against a hero like Invoker. Their reach is just exceptional. Earth Spirit can roll in from really far away, and the Lina can very easily follow up. Even though the Earth Spirit stun is only level 2, it's enough for Sumail to
S4
connect.
done. Here's your combination. Seb will get the first stun off, and maybe not the greatest of training against this S4. Enchantress is trying to find the damage. No doubt.
Udah bisa ngebukin Esper.
He's able to get the stun.
Wah.
Movement back from Seb. Good question. Hey, maybe he's untouchable.
Just hit him!
Eko cuma satu masalahnya.
So now is EG being aggressive. Thompson with the high ground. EMP tornado. Gonna make it difficult for RTZ. Decides not to dodge it, but he's got 21 chances.
I love that you say decides not to dodge it. There's so many clips of RTZ manta dodging whatever, so you're just
Everything.
assuming he will never fail. He decides not to. There's no way he could have failed that, right?
Hey, I put RTZ up on a pedestal for a cliff.
He is very rich, by the way. 10k net worth, 17 minutes in. It's generally a very dangerous proposition to give terribly complete free farm, but I just think in this game OG barely had a choice with their draft. It's just very defensive, very slow. With PA and Treant and Grimstroke, they need to have someone to play around. And
And since the other two lanes were EG favored, the tempo of the game is just completely being dictated by this EG side. Now, what I do want to say OG shouldn't do, stop going for this Enchantress. I think it's really hurting them. The kills, you have to accept S4 will be farmed this game. If you're not bringing your key into this kill, it's too hard, and the cost-benefit doesn't favor you kind of ever unless you see pretty much the entire enemy lineup somewhere else on the map. Because the counterplay is dangerous too, right? Imagine you kill the Ench, you used everything, and then what if there's an Earth Spirit coming in with this Selena?
This is when you need, you need Stifling Dagger from range, you need Seb to be the controller, you need to create a little bit more space. And I'm actually liking this a little bit more for Seb. He's going in for the Aghanim Scepter, then he's going to build for the BKB, so he can be that nuisance that we know to be in the faces of EG, and give Anna that space to farm. He doesn't want to join it, this is the way OG always played against 4 attacks, 1 farm.
Ini main tajir-tajiran dia sama TB. Salah yang jauh gitu.
Nanya lu siapa OG?
I don't think. I think if you just mathematically let these two heroes completely free farm from the start of the game and they buy whatever items they want, Terrible wins. He just has better farming potential. He can farm wave while farming jungle. His first ramp up items are just faster. The PA has to build this whole battlefield before kicking in.
Notel walking in range of the sentry ward. That Time Sentry would get quickly dewarded. There's another one further up, but Anna and GRX on the bottom right, but Sennheiser's already moving down. Coming past his own shrine, TP support's on the way. Onto ES, stop, GRX gonna land out, start over on ES.
Wah gila cu anak.
Pura-pura balik.
Able to blink away to teammates.
Back.
But she's got those. Then straight back to mid, straight back to the farm. The living armor to protect, building into this desolator.
Yeah, why didn't the PA just blink strike the Venom?
Because
she did it right before.
Yeah.
Why didn't she have refresher though?
Cool.
30 seconds bounties.
Why are you just not a better player?
PKP-nya diputar balik.
There's no vessel charges, so this fight for OG, if they choose to run into the enemy team, will be hard. Oh, speaking of running into them, Thompson.
Yeah, Tornado's out, flag gets sent up, Crit's going to work, but EG, they've started Roshan, that's what they want. Living armor's giving him some extra life, definitely blasting the 3, and then flashback, a quick Yule Scepter up, and there's a rolling ball, no, he misses, but Sennheiser Roshan, he's still ticking down, 3.1k, and OG are in position to contest this, and it looks like they also have no idea.
Notel was thinking about getting this bounty rune, but killed. That's going to be Roche, as well as 2 runes, and what do they pay? They don't even pay a tower bottom. OG
Deb's trying.
Falling further and further behind.
7,500 and increasing is the net worth advantage. The experience is shooting up as well.
And this is kind of, it's a bit reminiscent of one of Thompson's Invoker games, the TI-8, where I think it was against LGD. They sat on him really hard in mid and just slowed down his tempo, because OG's strategy when they play this mid Invoker with Boss Wex is very momentum-based. And you stifle that momentum, and so all of a sudden OG's lineup just feels so much easier to deal with. In this game, it's the Earth Spirit Lina getting these couple of kills on Thompson. Now they just killed him again. No vessel charges, and it just RTZ's having the time of his life. This is such a free game right now.
I love
Terrorblade, he has Butterfly.
Yeah.
And a bottom in at 20.
RTZ's looking damn good. I love how you bring up the Samael point, because it was Samael who used to be the one like, oh man, this kid's really, really good. What do we do? He's playing Storm Spirit with momentum base. Let's just kill him every single time. They faced at EG, and now they're dishing it out against OG.
And now RTZ feels confident to go and push towers. He knows he has the Aegis, so even if he gets Echo Slammed, there's that second life. And they will hit the tower. OG seem like they want to try to defend this one though. Deso is completed on Ana. This is his first peak.
Seb's doing the full wraparound. He wants the greatest clip-worthy Echo Slam. He'll take the Courier instead. That'll work. They lose the tier 2 tower in the meantime.
It gives away information though. EG know OG are coming from behind.
Thompson is looking to Samael. He wants him in the trees. He's going to move up. And now, well, Samael, they want to send in dry. The Yule Scepter, defensive. Nothing is burnt. And now they all turn around for the fight. And it's moving forward. The Soul Fight, S4 as well as RTZ together. Letting it go.
Anaknya ketangkep.
The rest of OG want to get the hell out of in out of kill streak. But Zed, magnetizes on him. The fuel scepter is up.
Shit,
Zed is down. Thompson will be able to survive. He's waiting a little longer though before he'll use his TP away.
The MVP of that fight for me is Crit. He rolls on the Shaker. He keeps the Shaker as well as Invoker busy for a good, I don't know, 20 seconds before he finally dies. And it makes this fight so easy for EG. I wonder if we're going to get a replay of that. I think we saw the rolling boulder, but then the fight was happening on the top side. It's just...
Thompson's clearing the creep wave. He understands they can't push up high ground. The illusion is actually giving the tower health with the regeneration up. It's all backdoor protection.
But EG lost nothing there. They didn't even use meta. They didn't have it. So next tower, it's already being circled by Fly. We're going to see it now. So Thompson catches Sumail, good defensive use, but this roll, the Earth Spirit is going to stay down here forever. Okay, it might not be on the replay either because we see the fight up top, but you can imagine for yourself what's happening off screen. If you look at the minimap, there's an Earth Spirit just there forcing Echo. And Ana just still feels like he can't really fight. He goes in and just gets blown up by spells.
It didn't help that. It didn't help that he ended up jumping into Lagoon. Like there's no BKB to protect him, and he jumped right on top of the custom bait to try and stop the freezing field, so the rest of the team can move, fight. But we're having this own debate as well. It's like, can the custom maiden actually die? We were asking this during the drafting phase. Like, is this just going to be a massive problem? Hi, Thompson.
Historically, PA has just murdered many crystal maiden over the course of Dota games, but nowadays, maiden has health talent. She buys bracers, but the maiden's health right now. Sure, it's only 5 armor, but she has 1430 health with just 1 bracer and a wand and this talent. Can buy a Ghost Scepter maybe, can buy another bracer, just tank up, and you will not be one-shot jumped by this PA. You get a chance to hold your ground, and if you get your ulti off, all this defensive armor is gonna, be super helpful for you.
Yeah, that's time. DD, double tapping through, bottled up, ready for this right moment.
Timing pas gak ini ya,
much longer. And what do they do? Yeah, it's gone, man. It's gone. Yo, do you want to defend? Maybe. Sends up the EMP, gets the double damage with the EMP burn. That's easy. Again, decides not to dodge the EMP. And then he jumps in. He has the Aghanim and sends the run. Take that melee rack. Take the rage one as well. What's PA got in return? The bottom tower? That's not enough. They need more. But EG, first ones to claim racks against OG, and they do it under 25 minutes.
This game has been very one-sided so far. I wonder if OG can find a way back. We've seen them come back from ridiculous situations many times before, but it's definitely...
It's a PA crit that I never want to say is not going to work. Like, what happens once Phantom Assassin gets buffed up? What happens when you start giving her alacrity with a BKB, putting her into the fight? Can EG then, like, hold through that blast? Thompson, what are you doing?
This is an item that'll help. The Enchantress picks up the Solar Crest, so whoever the PA jumps on, S4 will defensively Solar, or of course he can offensively Solar as well if they're going for kills, but this item is so good when you have Turbo in your team, giving him that massive burst of attack speed. He's a monster in this game, just flat out insane farm.
OG is still prepping for the fight.
Yeah, it feels like they need to wait for BKB of Ana, and then they can try to make a move with a smoke, try to find a way to get a fight inside their own vision where they can get an overgrowth. You need to overgrowth this Terrorblade, but he has both Manta and BKB, so he has 2 breaks now instead of only the 1 of Manta. It's a tall order, and probably the lowest impact we've seen from No-Tail in any game at this tournament. It's hard. Like, options don't exist.
He's going to be a full-on cannon with an MKB. You got to see the noticeable actually arrive from GRX. He does have the Ether Lens, so at least he'll have that cast range. Thompson, 400-ish gold away from having his Aghanim set to build up. All of this is slowly going to arrive.
It's going to help. It's definitely going to help to get this Ags. He has some good solutions for Terrorblade illusions. He has Tornado, the Deafening Blast, EMP, Ice Wall.
They're pinging out Seb. It's like, what is this guy doing down here? The creep wave's coming to a tier 3 tower. How crazy is the ES? Crazy enough that you're happy to bring Sumail back, but he can BT back to the front lines.
Yep. Well, hopefully not the front lines. But not where Lina wants to go. Took the damage talent on Lina as well, on level 15. The Light Strike array damage, so it doesn't feel threatened enough to take all the health. It's a pretty good pickup to get health against a hero like PA, though. You're naturally not too high armor. And I think earlier today we saw Moon when he was playing the Lina. I think he took the health talent in that game against a PA. I believe. Maybe it's
I'll say yes.
with different approaches to the same problem. Aghanims.
This guy has no chin, man.
The problem for Ana now is you're like, finally I have my BKB, but the counter item's already ready. It's the Aghanims on Lina, and it's the Terabyte MKB. So this upcoming fight.
Oh, Seb's dead. Seb is totally dead. He's just walking right into the middle of EG. Screwed up, looking to attack, and he's screwing it down, but he can't have enough life. With the jump up the hill, he can't make it. So Seb is down. Ana was hiding himself on the bottom lane, so it was Seb who was walking away. Both were there together, hoping someone from EG, just one person like Lina, would come out to try and fight. But they have no creep waves, they're pushing in. They're going to fight with the Alpha. Does EG actually have enough? No. You have protection on multiple front splits, as well as 7 charges of living armor. They'll burn through it, and now use the power of G. The tower is gone. Fabian's like, oh, can this guy actually keep up with the current pace of this meta of Dota? You see that type of push? Yeah, he can do it.
Got the tower, but he can't backdoor the melee racks. It's too much regen, too tanky. He's going to take the 2-3, he's going to take the shrine, he's going to keep cutting the mid wave. Good job from Thompson to make sure the mid wave was pushed out. If he didn't manage that, they could have lost racks in this instance. And OG, it's desperation time. They need to fight. The metamorphosis is running out.
Ana walked underneath the Observer and Sentry, comes right up towards RTZ. Thompson finds his own target. It's S4. Send him up. The missed timing though.
Sampai caur lagi tuh.
Oh, pikir itu cok. Ayo, ini keluar adanya. Ini. Kasih tahu.
Alhamdulillah. Semuanya enak banget itu di atas, cuy.
And they've got the damage output, they've got the creep wave, and OG have no defense. Maybe they can kill off Samael if he comes up high ground, but the rest of EG are moving towards the mid. They want to fight.
Ada TPK Bim. Ya Allah.
Gila semua.
Maybe this is a little bit too deep, but there's only 2 players up trying to defend it. Here comes your meatball down, but in front of him, he's got nothing more to give.
Okay. Next day. Salah tuh berapa?
Ngawur.
Crit yang taruh muka songong.
Ini kasih tai nih habis ini. Hati lu.
Nang lu sekarang anjing lu 1 nih bangsat.
Lihatin critnya.
Cep ganteng banget anjing.
Yoi. Anak
Main
Prancis.
Dota paling ganteng ya Cep ya.
Twist.
Iya juga.
Excellent job from them.
Beda game, Mas.
Excellent job from
Excellent.
Evil
Cep kalau baru udah
Geniuses.
jadi Captus
Indeed, the
gantangan Cep.
mental warfare that was at play
coming here. Did not face them one bit.
Panas
if
ini,
anything.
panas.
Look at their fire ground.
That sure felt like, you know, if you're gonna, you know, you
Baru
gotta drop
berapa
that
menit?
banner in mid lane, you gotta have a better
30-an.
performance than that. Because Sumail, as they said, he just completely dominated. Obviously, Crit, you know, came over and helped a little. Even Fly came through and helped. They really did not want Thompson out of the game.
Yeah, but you know who you didn't talk about?
Who's that?
Katanya
You didn't
bodo
talk about
amat
S4.
anjing.
Who?
And I want to talk about S4. I want to talk about Enchantress. What is this hero? What is she
Dia
capable
mainnya kayak
of?
Dani.
Allow me to demonstrate. If I may show you through the powers of technology, we have a hero with a passive called Untouchable. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Enchantress as a hero,
Gila.
you see 1340 HP, you think, oh, okay, you know, she's blocked out, 4 heroes, obviously she'd be dying. Okay, maybe a lucky stun. All right, maybe she's doing a little bit too much damage. Screw it, Seb says, I don't even want to deal with this hero. S4 is just chucking out these impetuses without a care in the world. That's 6 minutes into the game, something like that. 16 minutes in the game. We slowly progress a little bit forward. S4 has a Midas. Life's good. Oh no, it's 3 heroes. You'd think that I would be dead. Oh no! You couldn't finish her off. Things are starting to get a little bit bad now because
Salah
the rest
tuh
of EG has
draftnya
shown
itu.
up all of a sudden.
Ini loh, nggak
lives,
Jeko ya?
not a care
Kenapa
in
ya?
the world. And one more time, in case I haven't made my point, I don't even need to know what's going on. Blitz, what's going on? Is Enchantress, is she dying?
No.
She's not dying?
She's got full
Nggak
HP.
yakin cuy.
But she got soulbound to like a Terrorblade, right?
Yeah. No, she's fine.
She's
just gonna walk
fine?
it off.
She's laughing. Unbelievable. As for
Ih,
obviously
lu kesalahan
magnificent
tuh.
performance on the hero, but you gotta
Si
give
siapa?
props to that EG draft.
Si Ana
I'm sure there's gonna
ngira
be some people
Linanya
at home
sibuk
that are
sama main
not too
Invoker tuh.
familiar with Enchantress. They're like,
Dia
did my
ngedash
computer
tuh
just
ternyata.
play things in slow motion?
Slow motion going on.
Kering
No, you're not buffering. You're operating at full speed, and so is EG.
Yeah, what a crazy game, Will. What do you make of that?
Oh, that game was... that was a stomp. That was like a stomp and a half, too. It was just... every opportunity they had to go on Thompson, they absolutely ruined him. I think he even got solo killed once, right?
Yeah,
in the mid
I believe
lane.
so.
That's really what started that ball, and I mean, they never let go. Sumail just kind of made his mark on this game.
They poked the beast.
Yeah, they did. And I was thinking, you look
Linanya
back to
tadi
that,
nggak
the second
sibuk kan?
clip you showed, that was when Seb pretty much showed his blink. He got those 2
kalau
kills.
Linanya
If
sibuk
he
sama
somehow got Enchantress
yang
in
di
that, 'cause
bawah,
they were all 3 clumped
ternyata
up, but he was
tidak,
like
di-skip.
2 seconds too late. Honestly, it could have changed a lot of things, but the fact Enchantress ran away and you're not killing her. It really, you just could not kill her that game.
Now, this game was decided pretty fast, and I think, Will, it was you that said before the series that Thompson, he loses you the lane, but wins you the game. Well, how did you say it? You said it way nicer.
Oh, I said he's probably the hero. He's probably the player that loses you. He loses his lane the most, but he's also the player that'll win you the game the most.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this time he only did one of the
Yes.
2.
I mean, we haven't even talked about it, right? 9-0 and 10 on Arteezy. It's a Terrorblade, right? He is just farming. He's doing his thing, but he knew when to go and he knew when not to. They backdoor through a tier 3, even when Anna was cutting creeps. He just made all the right plays. And I mean, Arteezy, I mean, everyone wants to win a TI, but this guy, right, has been favored to win so many TIs. You know it's in the back of his head even.
Oh, the hunger is showing for sure. And I love that they ran up the aggressive Trident as well. You know, it's a little bit of the mind games. You want to go head to head. You don't want to avoid fights. Sometimes that is what you try to do, but this game, they wanted to take it. They fought hard and they made sure that they got in the action early on, which was a little difficult for OG to answer Tsunami.
This is a taste of OG's own medicine. This is what they like to do. Unless if it's a core IO, then oftentimes it will look like OG's losing at first, and they're like, oh, you know, obviously this core IO is not going to work out. And then Duke gets the Aghanim Scepter, Dominator, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, that's how it works. But this time it was just pedal to the metal for minutes.
Yeah, and it was the tree, and I'm really surprised they put it on 5. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I was talking with Fogged as well, and we're just wondering, like, what does he do? It didn't feel like, you know, they always want to defend their towers, do their thing, and they really could not defend their towers at all.
They could not at all. I didn't realize I was
laughing at Grant.
No, I laugh at my own mistakes. That's the best way of doing it. Now that's what OG is doing as well. And actually, we know that that's what they're doing. Most of them.
Yeah, even against those.
They have a professional
Makan,
esports
gengs.
psychologist.
That's true.
Live chat makan ya.
Just saw these like, oh my goodness. He just destroyed him. We gotta get out of here.
Kebanyakan fight me anjing.
Fight me.
No,
You said they needed that. Maybe she ran away because of that.
Wong finalnya ya lawan LGD kalah 2-0 dulu kan? Dibalik 3-2.
1-1.
Game pertama menang
2-1. Bisa ini, bisa.
Alright.
Bisa, cuma harus serius.
You know what? I hope that OG is taking a break, taking a moment, you know, getting some time to reset. They are needing it, and I know a lot of you at home need it too. We have the perfect recipe for a reset. Hey, Casey, Slack.
Hey, I'm really happy that you're not shoving me over in reaction to the vote like you did earlier.
I mean, I'll take any excuse I can to shove it, but I got too much excitement for the games on that last series, man. EG, everybody knows this team, right? Well, they think they know them. Actually, you might not know the greatest North American squad ever, and that's why they got a little peek in their backstories. Take a look at this piece.
Prediction.
Esports teams always have drama.
Man, what the fuck?
Sometimes it's real, but a lot of it is just the community making something out of nothing.
Gimme up.
For example, there's a lot of talk this year about Evil Geniuses not being a real North American team. Let me tell you something, boys. That couldn't be further from the truth. Orders.
Howdy, y'all. Who's on Reddit on that 32?
Yeah.
Fucking go,
I mean, sure, we're both North American, but the other guys are way more North American than us, especially Crit.
And you're back in the finals. I guess that's what it took.
Shoulder check. Hey, sorry about that, your hoser. Hope you had fun in the grand finals, eh? Shoulder check.
In a way, I think the boys are actually model North Americans. They even have that classic NA salt.
Alright, listen up. I'm so mad right now. Crit, off with your troll warlord. Sumail, I don't want to see no underlord middle. Gustav, if you ask for puck one more time, I swear to God, it's not TI3 anymore. Hey, I told you no more fucking cameras. In the end, we're just some North American boys trying to make our way into this year's international. Together, united, one team under Dota.
Tyler One Production.
Wow, man, what a great North American squad representing America out here in Shanghai. Did you know that kind of NA spirit they had?
I had no idea. That was quite the informative documentary you put together. Thank you.
Yes, indeed it was. But we have more actions to see today. We got an even better show because Sheaves and the boys, we got more Dota to be seeing.
We do indeed, and I cannot wait to see all the different scenarios used in all different kinds of clips and memes, because there is so much potential. Thank you for that.
We have some work to do. We'll be right back.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I can't believe what we just watched, but I mean, you already knew that they were North Americans to the core.
Yeah, I did. You know, everyone on Reddit's gonna always argue with me, but you know, being the ambassador of NA, I'd like to think I knew these guys were all NA from the start, and yeah, I mean, Crit, Canadian, I knew that as well, I guess. I don't know.
What was the guns? He opened the door and it was already shooting at the ground.
Well, yeah, you got to test some bullets out first.
He shot like 10 bullets out of a 6-shot revolver.
Well, Americans are pretty wasteful, don't worry.
Sure, the one thing that Tsunami looks at, 10 bullets out of
that's right.
That's revolver.
Can we say
that is the only
that's
thing
a draft panel kind of
that
thing.
cannot be true.
The rest of it made sense to me. Logically, it all added up.
Yeah,
with the bullet thing, there was some continuity errors there. I think.
Missed it for me.
Yeah. What do you you're sneaking quietly there, Will? What are you thinking?
Oh no, I was just I was rating like their acting. And,
who was the best?
The best was probably Crit.
Wait, they were acting?
I think Fly was the best.
Really?
Yeah. His Captain America speech.
Oh, the worst by far was Sam.
I mean, that was no
Game 3 lah paling enggak lah.
No, I think he said orders. Because he was carrying burgers, not hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, but
hors d'oeuvres
Hors
are
d'oeuvres.
filled eggs, right?
I think he was.
Yeah.
Hors d'oeuvres are filled eggs, aren't they?
Wait, is that a real
No,
thing?
hors
I
d'oeuvres
thought
are like
hors d'oeuvres
appetizers.
were just
they're appetizers.
finger foods.
Yeah, and so obviously we Americans have burgers as an appetizer, and burgers as a meal, and burgers for dessert.
I saw some fries in there too.
True.
Perfect.
All right, hey, let's talk about these two teams because they're about to be, well, at the moment, EG is about to be in the top three. We saw them in the top 3 last year. Top 3 is not enough. The performance that they showed here in this first game, though, definitely worthy of more than top 3. That looked so dominant.
Yeah, it really did, and I think the biggest thing is it's going to come down to the draft. It felt like they got out-drafted from the beginning. I said some team's going to pick Earthbeard. I actually didn't expect him to be first pick. He just roamed on middle, he roamed bottom. He was actually in all 3 lanes. Like, he played perfectly, so shout out to Bulba. You know, we all like to clown on him, but he did his job that game.
And he's coached a team to TI championship before, which also was EG, by the way. And he might just do it again here, Tsunami.
Yeah, and the most important thing is getting this game 1 victory because OG has not been tested that much during this TI.
No.
During the group stage, they didn't drop very many games. As they moved their way through the upper bracket, they have not dropped that many games. Being able to finally show that they bleed and show some vulnerability is a huge step of confidence for EG.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, you look at the group stage, I believe they had 2 or 3 losses. I don't remember, but only one of them was truly serious to me. It was the Vici Gaming loss, and I definitely
the other
think
one was like a Techies loss or something.
Yeah, exactly, and I think you have a lot to look at. It's like, okay, this is the one loss they truly had, and I'm sure they scoured all the replays, and, well, it worked.
Will, can OG reset?
Oh yeah, for sure they can. And they want a TI. You know they're a mentally tough team. I feel like if any team's gonna do it and they're able to like walk it off and have fun, it's gonna be OG. You saw No-Tail like spamming voice lines till the very end.
Spamming his face literally on mid lane.
Like, I think they're memeing it up too with like the faces.
All right.
That's like the first step, by the way, towards reconciliation. Memeing.
Well, let's see how well they meme in the upcoming game because teams are taking the stage once again. There you go. R&R, shoulder to shoulder. They do look ready. They do look like they are reset and ready to go. Shake it off, go.
Yeah, you love Taylor Swift, don't you, Blitz?
I do.
Well, I do hope that EG is also relaxed as they are 1 game up. That definitely takes some pressure off. You know what also takes pressure off? A nice relaxing
Ini habis dikasih tetua Sep ini.
Notel habis sempat cuk, enak ini cuk. Relax.
Iya cuk, sempat dan hil putih cuk.
Hi, how are you?
Topias.
Thompson.
Iya, enak Blay dimasas Blay.
Jelas.
Hey, wake up.
Masa turu cuk.
Wake up.
Yeah, hello.
Rusak cuk.
Are we done here?
I know I always ask this of players, but I am fascinated by whether or not you guys feel stressed. Because this is what you do all the time.
Yeah, we take massages all the time.
No. The Dota playing.
I'm playing Dota isn't that stressful, but traveling, I hate it.
Why do you hate traveling?
I don't know, I just stress about stupid things.
Like what?
Like losing my phone or interviews, fucking stressful.
What can I do in interviews to make you feel less nervous?
I don't know. They just sit home playing Dota and then suddenly they're in front of a camera. It's like, what the fuck is this?
But you're on camera while you play.
Yeah, but they're watching the game. They're watching us play. They're not watching us.
Yeah. What's the question you hate getting asked the most?
I don't have one.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Yes.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely person on your team to make a mistake?
That's unfair.
No.
That's a really shit question. I found it. It was easy.
How crucial is Anna to your roster? Because I know that you had to play without him for quite some time.
Yeah, we did. He's like my favorite player. Like I'm a big fan of his, and Anna understands me, and I understand Anna, and it wasn't the case with other players. So for me, it's really nice to play with Anna.
Do you feel any extra pressure coming back as TI?
Blind
I know what you're trying to say. No, not really. I mean, we have had pretty average year. We just barely made it to TI, and we're so happy that we made it to TI, and we'll see how we feel then. But right now, we're feeling good, I think.
What are you gonna do after your Dota career ends someday?
Oh man, I'm gonna buy a house in northern Finland.
So you're just gonna live a quiet life?
Yeah, that's the dream.
Fast forward 20 years. Ring, ring, ring!
Yeah.
You pick up the phone, and it's me.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Well, there goes the answer to my next question. Thompson, thanks for doing this.
Oh shit.
I feel like I'm raising my hand to ask a question. Yoo-hoo, Thompson over here.
Yeah.
I was just wondering how you're planning on beating all the other teams at TI9.
You know, you destroy the throne and then they lose. Easy.
Easy.
You destroy the throne and then they lose, or then you win. That is the goal. It seems pretty simple.
Easy.
Can they do that here in game 2? Because if they don't, they're gonna go to the lower bracket. Haven't experienced that yet in a while. Let's find out what is going to happen in game 2 of EG OG. It is time for the draft.
Can they do that?
OG versus Evil Geniuses. Game 2.
Ako nyimpan trap ya?
This is where the next match is going to be determined. We're about to start the draft in game 2 here. EG versus OG. What are you guys expecting to see in this one?
I think for EG, follow the same formula. I really like the way that Sin mentioned it at the end of the cast, how he loved the way they set up their lanes and they played super aggressive throughout the game. I think that's definitely a key factor for them going into this next one versus OG, because that just looked super good, right? They just took over the whole game because they kept making those aggressive plays.
Or pick stronger lane heroes. That was a real question mark in the last pick in Bokor against the Lina too. Like, and there's an Earth Spirit roaming. And the silings, they weren't that great too. The PA is pretty weak. 3-5 is pretty weak. So it was a kind of a question mark for me.
Ooh, looks like we have same band so far. So this is always fun to see. Are they going to do something different? Are they going to stick with the same heroes? One thing I feel like I see if Enchantress does make it through is they pick heroes that actually can kill her. They pick magic.
OG's turn to ban. Evil Geniuses turn
Nord,
to
right?
ban.
That was one hero that made it through the entire draft without being touched because they opened up with the Grimstroke, so EG didn't feel like they had to go for it. They wanted the Crystal Maiden, so yeah, SD, one of the few series that we actually see it just wasn't touched.
And now it was a ban last game. I don't believe it was.
I think they banned ET, not
Yeah, they banned ET.
So they're like having some. They're baiting the Enchantress pick, I think.
Now they're also making sure that they can get themselves ET too, right? They're like EG. So they forced to get that edge himself.
Enchantress.
I mean, it's definitely more of a comfort pick for them. It's something they've been picking consistently for Seb in the off lane, and it's putting the strong hero in their hands.
Yeah, and like I said in the first game, Luther seems like the only 5 that's really comfortable on the Enchantress.
So it's right here already. You're talking about ways to kill Enchantress, right? Elder Titan, a decent amount of magic damage, also a big amplification. Mirana, high magic damage if you are able to get on top, and good combos.
And another thing that Mirana's been really effective at so far this tournament is just like stomping games with really effective rotations and good disable setups, basically. One disable into a 3 to 5 second stun, that's almost always going to be a killed hero. And as long as they can fill out the rest of their lineup with a lot of other stun setups, EG might be able to just stomp the lanes kind of similar to last game.
Just gonna go for their Earthshaker here, the way to disrupt like those type of combo plays. So surprised, yeah. Shadow Demon's just not gonna be touched, not even going for the save, which you do see a lot of times versus like the Mirana.
Yeah, it's very rare actually that I feel like Mirana gets picked while SD is still in the pool because it is such a good counter there. But they let it through.
Yep. It is a really good hero with the Enchantress. It covers the Enchantress weaknesses, which is the lack of team fight. Sure, Enchantress does have a lot of damage, but it lacks lockdown and the big AoE control, which Earthshaker provides.
Kalian skala gara-gara ini salah pick.
Can also potentially interrupt Elder Titan combos. Possibly stunning Mirana at the right time could help a lot. Drop a fissure when she needs to throw her arrow, for example. Those kinds of things could be a solution as well.
It's really less likely, but I think it's pretty cool to see some Mirana too, because I know he's a beast on the hero.
Yeah, right. Both drafts are kind of flexible right now at this point. Like you said, OG, they could be playing the Enchantress. They could move it around if they want to choose to do so. The ET is probably locked as like a 5 position. We have seen Crit also play it, so 4/5s. Mirana also kind of flexible, so
it's probably a 5 ET.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine, right? That's what they're thinking as well too, right? Banning out that Sand King. Taking out that easy setup, also that high magic damage hero.
Yeah, that's right.
Game 3 kan ni, Blay?
ET with a common Veil Builder, the amount of magic damage you're doing is massive, a lot more than even normal. So.
Which is Enchantress's weakness. Enchantress is really fragile to magical damage.
And it takes out a team fighter too, right? Like the Sand King provides quite a bit, so that's why they're looking to ban that one out.
Ember Spirit getting banned by Evil Geniuses, a very good hero for jumping around the team fight. Also, pretty possible to avoid things like arrow setups sometimes, because if you have even a tiny fraction of a second where you aren't stunned, you can dodge arrows and dodge other abilities. So, would be a little bit of a headache for Elder Titan defending it. So.
Getting on top of these heroes can be pretty easy as an Ember Spirit too. Like Elder Titan, I play a lot of the hero. You just get jumped on instantly. You get rooted in the middle of your stop animation. It messes with you. Mirana, same thing. You get rooted. You can't leap the whole time. It's a long duration lockdown. Frustrating hero to play against for sure if you do have an ET or Mirana.
Evil Geniuses turn to ban.
Kunkka the next ban. Very common setup hero with Mirana as well. We saw a lot of teams successfully use that combo, just because it gives you the easiest setup ever.
I wonder what kind of damage hero EG is gonna pick. I assume like S4 is going to play some AoE magical damage control hero, which can kill the Enchantress.
What are you thinking, like a Tiny or something?
5 seconds remaining.
Too early to tell?
Yeah, I think it's too early to tell. Tiny, I feel like Tiny is a bit too single target as well.
What about Tidehunter? Tidehunter was like first phase ban in the Vici LGD series earlier today, but we haven't seen either of these guys touch it yet. Do you think something like that would be useful here?
Tide is pretty cool. It can like stop the Earthshaker from getting his combos off with the Ravage, but I assume like if they do pick Tide, they need more damage. I don't think it's enough damage.
What about like a typical like mid laner turned off laner, like a Lesh or a Pugna, or a Lesh banned of course,
yeah,
but
Lesh was
something like that would work.
But it was banned.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very common opening for a lot of teams to actually go like ET Lesh because you amplify your damage so much. But they'll need something else instead.
I think EG. What about the the gyrocopter for EG if they want to go for that for
I was thinking gyrocopter, but I don't know. I don't like the gyro versus Enchantress matchup. I think it can go both ways.
Mereka lawan
Gyro can get on top of Enchantress, sure, but Enchantress like by nature is a good hurricane pipe fire. It can like shoot impetuses from very far. It can outreach.
Oh, Gremajai.
The other way around.
Yeah, I've seen it looks like teams have think the exact same way, right? We've seen some teams like they pick the gyro into the Enchantress, and other teams they pick the Enchantress versus the gyro. Just yeah, it's fun. It's fun to see those type of back and forths from teams. So we get an ogre.
Oh,
very high health, very high armor, tanky hero can be a 3.
Potential for high magic damage.
Yeah, with especially with ET's aura.
So the downside, the part that it doesn't fit of what you want in Febi is not that much AoE damage basically. So you can't push out lanes very well, but you can just stay in your lane, live in it, not be harassed out of it, and continue to pressure that way. That's one option for the hero. And then later on, join the team fights.
Yeah, it's a natural pipe builder too, so the Earthshaker is not going to have as much impact.
Faceless Void.
How do you feel about that pick?
I was thinking Void for EG might have been good for the AoE control and especially with the ET. But yeah, OG picks Void. It's okay because Enchantress provides damage. Every time you have Void, you want damage in your chrono, and I think Enchantress is the damage.
I feel like it might have been a bit of a steal pick, right?
Yeah,
Maybe if EG was going to look for it, because I mean, with the ET and Mirana, it's amazing. So it does kind of look like they just kind of robbed that one away. If EG was looking to go for that type of hero.
Yeah, because that's definitely one of the issues with the Mirana pick right now is that there just aren't a ton of arrow setups. Obviously, Stomp is amazing, but in the laning stage, it's going to be a little bit harder. Void also even good against that. If you're lacking disables, Ogre's got to get close range to land his stun. ET's got to land this obvious Stomp that Void can easily time walk. So right now, Mirana's not looking like the best 4, actually.
Yeah, they might have. I mean, they still can move it right now. They have Bloodlust as well. They're keeping themselves open to switching it up still.
5-5-nya nggak ada impact.
Like Febby was saying, right? Like Sumail, he loves playing as Mirana sometimes, and we have seen a couple core Miranas. We have seen a couple of them in the mid lane. From I know BG played it a couple of times too. They're gonna take the gyro.
It's something that they need, some AoE, some magical damage.
Gyro feels a little bit iffy against Chronosphere plus Enchantress. I mean, he traditionally does get a lot of health, and yes, maybe he'll buy Butterfly at some point, but getting Chronosphere and not having too many saves on the back line might be really scary for him.
He's my favorite pairing though with Elder Titan. Favorite carry pairing, because you're a mix. You're not just physical damage, you're very high magical damage, so you work really well, and it provides you extra team fight, which I think that they, the Ogre might have made them lack a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a combo that EG is very familiar with. We've seen a couple of times in the group stages too, the Gyro ET.
Ooh, Tiny, that looks like it's a very high potential for Topson's hero. He's been super dominant actually on the hero when I saw him playing it for the most part, just being able to constantly run around and just wreak havoc on the map, especially versus the squishies. Gyrocopter can tend to be a little bit squishy sometimes.
Yeah,
Get off to a good start.
With the Expert too, I think it like just inputs insane amount of damage. It can be a cool new combo. Tiny Axe.
That's true. I like that.
Yeah.
It's really good with Void. It helps so much. I think Menesky was running that earlier. The Chrono would come out, and then you do the tiny tree toss, you get in like 6, 7, 8 trees.
Yeah, it looked like a really good combo.
Was that the same thing that, did Secret have that too? With the Void and the Tiny? I think mid one rushed Ags that game.
Yapstar stole Chronosphere a few times, so probably. Yeah, there's a lot of Chronospheres in those games.
Oh yeah, you're right actually, that's a good point. Because I remember he skipped the Echo Saber. He went Echo Saber after, but he went straight Ags, which was interesting to me, because usually it's like, you want your Echo because you apply the slow, but if you have something like that huge lockdown, you don't need the extra slow. You're going to be having that big damage pump into it, so that's actually neat.
I'm expecting EG to throw Gyro in the mid lane myself, just because Sumail's typically the guy that plays it on their team.
10 seconds.
I mean, if you do land an arrow mid, even if there isn't a setup, sometimes there can be a pumping missile. It's a good hero for crossing the river.
Seru aja Blay, yang seru Blay.
I don't know if it's going to be
Seru nih dua tim mainnya seru-seruan dah.
Health is pretty high, but
I feel like you won't get many last hits in that lane though if you're mid versus a Tiny.
That's true.
You can use a missile to zone him every now and then, but the base damage advantage is pretty high. But still flexible, right? They still can choose to move it around.
RTZ nggak kira kan
depending on which matchup that you want to have.
Mungkin.
I mean, one bright side is they can probably control maybe a little bit better with the Mirana. And the Gyro's a lot faster, so running him down, maybe lower chance of Gyro dying.
G's turn to pick.
Last Bantu Batrider again being towards OG. They are kind of lacking their 5-position hero. And then OD being banned on against EG, which would have been another great hero for setting up arrows if they throw OD in the mid lane. Especially against a melee like Tiny, super easy to banish and get guaranteed arrows.
Dipa main PB gue udah ngerti PB sama sekali, Blay.
Yeah, a lot of the Conquer OD bans when there's a real early Mirana picks, it's like you kind of just have to cover your bases.
PB gue
5 seconds remaining.
So what are they going to grab
for
their last hero? OG could play
kemarin gue
Tiny
tonton
as a
sih yang
4,
pas
they
dia
could put the
juara
Enchantress on
dunia.
a 5, that could leave
Cuma
Thompson up.
ini aja Pak, ini udah lagi seru.
New hero here if they really want to, but
there's so many cool things that OG can do right now. They can put 5 Enchantress with Tiny and like pick a
Seruan dari Secret
hero for
Ski Blay.
Phoenix looks okay. Even if there's a Mirana on the other team, you have Void.
Phoenix ya boleh gitu.
it feels, I think it sounds okay, but I just feel like they're lacking easy disables and gank stuff that isn't team fight, like ultimate based. It's like Chronosphere, maybe like Blink Earthshaker or Blink Tiny, but I feel like they need something reliable maybe.
I don't know who it Oracle.
It's, okay.
I think it's a good Fate's Edict game. There's a lot of magical damage coming out of Evil Geniuses right now. Right now, all their damage is magical damage, and Oracle's second spare is just going to negate a lot of that damage.
And they can use Oracle's ultimate to just purge off the stun. If somebody like if the
Apa anjing ini?
Tiny gets stunned at a crucial moment, remove that, let him take a team fight.
Store.
I was thinking Void might need
Ah,
a
siapa cuy?
because there's a lot of lockdown from Evil Geniuses.
Oke bisa 4, Hero bisa mid.
From OG onto that Oracle pick, so they could have bursted the Void down before the team fight started.
Is it going to be strong enough to lane against an ogre though? Like if that's an offlane ogre, he's got to slap that guy.
They're just gonna go the Terrorblade again. It worked last time for them.
But now there's an Enchantress on the other side
More
of
things, yeah.
So I don't know. I think this Enchantress versus TV matchup is pretty hard for the TV.
It should be a lot of damage if TB is disabled. They should be able to combo potentially.
And Enchantress can just chase down the TV and
Game 3 nih, Blay.
crippling his farms.
What about
Game 3 kan nih, Bang?
reflection against the OG heroes? Do the reflections get bashes? Not sure. Anyways, that is the draft for game number 2 here. EG versus OG. Let's send it over for an interview with Sasha.
Ketawanya bentaran, cu. Ultonya lama.
Burungnya banyak, ketawanya dikit anjing.
Iya. Ya hilang lagi suaranya Blay.
Aku juga hilang,
Sama, Blay.
Aku juga hilang semua kok.
Oh lagi switch.
Oh lagi baca doa kayak deh, casternya sebelum mulai, Blay.
Bisa jadi. Surprise.
Cep.
And we really are looking for that third game.
Oh,
To
udah.
repeat history from last TI, it was semi-final 2. These teams met up. Of course, there was OG who 2-1.
Sama Flagrant.
What can happen this time around? They're confident. They're confident with the draft this time around, Send.
There's a couple of things that can happen. EG could win this game, then they're 2-0. OG could win this game, then they're 1-1.
Wow.
And then for the third game, would you believe it, there's also 2 possible outcomes in that game. So that would be, you know, if you do like a flowchart of this, it's really complicated. We'll figure it out eventually. So, I want to talk a little bit about this game, specifically the Enchantress, a little bit about on the draft panel. I think the logic that EG are playing this game that Terrorblade again is they want a carry that, first of all, that farms really well when it's given space. EG's heroes are really good at fighting early on outside of our TZ's hero. And Thompson bully. In the lane, but Terrorblade isn't gonna lane. He's gonna play there until he's level 5. When it seems like Enchantress is starting to get scared, he's gonna retreat to the jungle. And if Enchantress starts hunting Terrorblade in the enemy jungle, she can get ganked by Gyro from mid. That's the whole idea here. He can go deep into the jungle, he can play the opposite jungle as well. Probably not the Radiant one, but you know what I mean. Around the triangle with Terrorblade, and have a good time. For OG, however, you have very big AoE spells and cooldowns. And if they don't connect on the Terrorblade, I just see his fights being relatively free. Like, what's actually killing this Terrorblade in this game? They don't have heavy single target burst outside of Enchantress. Tiny's okay for a while, but then Tiny's damage linking is physical.
What happens if you can't kill him before he can sunder?
Masih ada game lagi.
It's like that's your burst damage from the Tiny, which starts to wear off after a while. But they do have really great combinations. Maybe this is the reason why Sashka just feels so confident. Like, we always look for the thing that works with the crew. Long are the days that we just do this with the Skywrath Mage. Now we toss trees. You have Thompson who can do insane amounts of damage. You've got Enchantress who can make the most of that control area too. With the impetus she can throw out. There's a lot of things that can work with.
What you're saying too is that the damage is physical or physical based. Enchantress hits physical attacks. You can get evasion against it with Terrorblade. The tree throw is physical. You get a lot of armor on Terrorblade naturally, and Void is more or less 100% physical damage too. So I think for the name of the game for OG here is play high tempo. I don't think trading farm and playing a slow game here is going to favor them in the long run. You're playing against Elder type late game, one of the stronger supports with the aura for a lot of damage, and of course, let's not forget the mid hero for EG also scales. It's a gyrocopter. They have plenty in the way of late game with Bloodlust too.
And it's been one of the most popular heroes of TI9. We get our lanes up, so EG running the safe lane, the ET and the Terrorblade together. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage onto NoTel, trying to back himself up. The Oracle has no real save, he went Fortune in to begin with. Only Tango's to bring his life back up. Copping the same kind of damage from Ana.
The Fortune's end to secure a range creep, and S4 immediately went for the Fire Blast into arrow combination with crit. Something I don't remember who on the on the panel mentioned this, that OG should probably look to get better lanes this time around. They're playing Oracle Void. This is also not a very strong lane, so once again they're running the risk of getting pressured pretty hard in this Ana lane. Their mid lane is good though. Tiny is just a flat out strong laner in general, and their other lane, Enchantress Shaker, is very strong.
Speaking of Enchantress Shaker, they're really getting up in the face of RTZ. Cly, he did the pull, that's why they're underneath the tower, so trying to get as much damage in as possible. But RTZ, they're trying to bait him in using the Metamorphosis. They even fissure blocked him out from potentially getting some kills on creeps, and one of them including the range creep, and he still refused to use it. He's been holding it back. Another small thing is also the ward vision. Fly, he actually put a sentry ward down, which is able to block the camp up on the top, so there's no pull for OG to work with, and that sentry ward is actually barely out of range of the observer ward that's watching the stacking from Fly. So just a fun vision game up on the north.
It's a pretty unusual play for Elder Titans to block a camp like this, but he's too scared of the Enchantress pressure with the enchant spell, and for good reason. If Seb gets like a Satyr or a Centaur, there's play combos that could give a kill on the RTZ Terrorblade, so this way he keeps him nice and safe.
Kira 23 ya?
Metamorphosis has now finally been burned from TZ.
Radiant are scanning.
Took until level 3, and he's got 2 points up in the Conjure image. So Seven
holding
back for the moment. Crit's waiting for the next attack. He's waiting for Samel's homing missile to come on. Bottom lane, S4. NoTel held him there. There's 6 charges from S4. Get back underneath the tower.
Close call.
And has managed to at least make Crit feel like he has to move off the lane. He found the illusion rune.
He's coming in with a salve as well, so S4 will be back in fighting shape. NoTel's out of mana. He has no resources left, so this lane now plays itself for EG. They might even get the kill here if they play it right.
Be fast about it. They're focusing down on Ana. He can always just time walk this off, and he's got those 4 stick charges. NoTel's gone push. S4, here comes your level 2 Fire Blast out, while up on top TZ does get away, but it's NoTel. Into the tree line. They have the damage and they have the vision, and Ana actually being given the vision from NoTel. That's all he could do at the end of this. There's something to make Ana's lane work.
Aduh, kameranya gimana nih, Beng?
Tyler One Production.
Tyler One Production anjing.
The Terrorblade's not having a free time. The Void's not having a free time.
Ini sapi lawan sapi,
That's where there's just a fundamental difference in these two carries. If Terrorblade's laning stage is bad, he's gonna go jungle mid or level 4. What's Void gonna do? He has to lane. He's stuck down here. And he's playing with an Oracle who now hit level 3, so NoTel is a lot stronger now than before with the 2 points in Purifying Flames. There is some kill potential.
Haste. Of how Samel was inching for the rune, he doesn't get it. He was really hoping he wouldn't. It's a haste rune for Crit. 1/3 of his HP is up and running, but he's hoping to probably get the arrow against Topson if Samel can just get a good homing missile off. But then again, Topson, he's staying right on top of Samel with his own damage.
And Topson is playing this lane as expected. He's winning against Samel. This is a very tiny favored matchup in isolation early on. Just has way better base damage like was mentioned on the panel. But Samel is he's still doing all right. He's getting denied for sure. Some damage here. I don't know about that, Topson. That's cutting it pretty close.
Samel may just have the damage underneath the tower. Topson makes a break for the tree line. Samel can't actually reach him. Topson doesn't have a mana for a toss away, but he's got try in 10 seconds. That'll work. He's coming over.
There's mana on the Tiny.
GALAX has
will
to
be a
stun him.
fissure.
This will be better on coming now. Gets 3 balls. Is that Fly? They start with the Avalanche.
Kasih bendera dulu.
He very clearly placed the NoTel flag. I was staring him in the eyes when he died. Oh man.
Get in their minds, that's what OG likes to do.
Yeah, that's one thing you can't mute. You can't remove the flag.
Ini lagi cari timing tuh
OG
Ana.
understand this, they just get around it.
Begitu nyentuh setengah kan, David ini lihat nih.
The bottom lane, NoTel with the Fortune's end. Just
Kalau best sekali lagi mati tuh.
Sakit tuh
S4 has got 900 HP. You're not getting through this Orga.
It purges Bloodlust though. It's a minor annoyance.
TZ's got Metamorphosis again. No pressure into that top tower. Remember, there's no tree protector in this game, but not a single point of damage has been done to that tier 1 tower on top. Chris trying to leap himself away. I see Thompson moving over. He's already used his combination. The observable to give them all the information they need. Thompson, 2 seconds till Thompson.
Iya, TT-nya diam.
Now goes for a short range arrow. He doesn't have another leap of marble. Thompson.
Diajakin tos, Cuk. Diajakin tos anjing.
Mati kamu, Artec mati juga. Artec. Go.
Mati dua-duanya, Cuk. Wah, bloknya.
Kasih tahu. Double damage, pukul sekali. Kasih tip. Mantap. Dapat nih. Oke. Pukul terus.
Towards S4, the stuns at least on faces forward, so Anna won't keep this pressure up.
Kan nih. Mantip.
Game 3 lah, game 3 lah.
Tiga ini biar seru. Ini biar
Crit was roaming a little bit on the Mirana, which gave Ana more space, and now they might even kill us more here.
Best way. Ih, cakep. Super.
So this dynamic is really interesting because the Enchantress will not be chasing him, but the Tiny is one of those heroes that can quickly push in the mid lane and start making a move for the enemy jungle. And he can solo kill Terrorblade this early on. Terrorblade has no health.
He's also got no net worth. Just to throw off the net worth, you can see him, he's fallen from the bottom, not even 2,000 to this Terrorblade's name. ES currently has more net worth on the support GPRO.
Cepat apa winless? Klik kanan doang, Pak.
Satu cukup klik kalau udah ulti klik sakit.
Thompson does not get the run yet. It's bottom. He will probably try to run down and take this region after pushing out mid. He knows it's there and that there's nobody going to take it right now.
And he's going to send the illusion to deny it.
Yeah, and he sent his hero into the other side of the jungle.
Oh,
but now he's going to maybe get smoked out. Oh, and he dies again.
Dimakan sama Thompson, Cuk.
They put down the protection, not easy. He needs space,
he
needs time, and Thompson doesn't want to give him anything. They leave it observable back behind the tier 2 tower. GRX is waiting on the hill, not easy.
Mau farming apa? Farming tower sana, Cuk.
The courier is coming out to deliver the raid.
Mati.
Wah, diajakin tos balik, bleh.
Ya, TZ mau kemana? Ini.
Takel ini, Bos.
Wow, dikasih spray, bleh. Aduh.
Kasih lagi.
Yang ngetip motel, Cuk.
Oke, ini.
Thompson di mana-mana, anjing. Thompson
kasih tip lagi. Mantap.
Dikasih buka, Cuk.
Battle level, Cuk.
Nggak bisa. Cabut malam.
Nggak, besok.
Malam nggak tutup. Besok lagi. Belakangmu, Mas. Halo.
Wah, bete anjing di mana-mana, bangsat. Wah, gila.
Bete anjing.
Wah, bete sih.
Wah, gila.
Wah, itu di outplay anjing.
Wah, gila.
Wah, itu gila anjing.
Dikron artis ini.
Mati nih anjing.
Ada award doi. Ada award doi.
So with the DD rune, he won't get the leap into Chronosphere.
Udah
That was probably looking for.
Bayanganmu ku farming mati.
Talking a lot about RTX having a hard game, but
sepatuku mana? Kemudian jangan dipakai. Wah, mati lagi nih.
Mati lagi anjing.
the Enchantress.
Wah, Tip lagi.
Wah gila anjing.
Iya. Iya.
Ayo. Pertama diajar tuh. Saiki
Buset.
marah dia, Bun.
Kamu sini kamu. Ngawur.
Wah ini ngawur anjing. Ini ngawur bangsat.
Bener tuh prediksi tuh highest net worth-nya Thompson anjing. Foto tuh. 25.
Sisa atas sama 3.
Tuh salah tuh.
Oh, saya
nomor buat apa? Kamu gimana?
Aduh. Wah, Sennheiser dapet. Cuk, dapet streaknya.
Takut.
Iya, takut. And they're gonna immediately smoke again. OG have no vision here, so they don't know this is happening. This is not the easiest smoke to predict, but if they want to cross the entire map, maybe it will be predicted. Okay, the top rune. In this rune, they're not going to grab this.
Look at
I think they're looking for Ana, but GALAX actually broke the smoke. He's already TPing over towards the shrine. He understands that something shady's happening.
GALAX saw the rune get taken. I think this might blow this game.
Kamu lagi.
Ya, mak. Aduh.
GRX pinged it out.
Tapi lagi dipegang Ani cu.
And all of EG's heroes were missing, but Ana still stuck around to farm that camp. Bit greedy.
Probably felt he was safe for having the observer ward in the lane, but man, as you said, like they would smoke up from the bottom lane and not just run directly at him.
And that space for RTZ. They've re-established some control in this top area, so Terribly gets to play a little bit now. He's still way behind par, of course, on this arrow, but slowly recovering, and OG, they're going to keep up the pressure. They will keep playing fast. They have the same read.
Mana yang kasih ini setan-setan? Mana ini orangnya? Mana yang kasih setan? Ha? Kamu kasih setan? Ha?
Tolong anjing Thompson. Tai bisa lu kayak gitu anjing. Ngedive-nya.
Lagi. Ayo, ada Mirana. RTZ ngapain? Ngapain ya? Aduh. Aku belum farming, kenapa suruh telemit?
Meanwhile, on the northern side of the lane.
He was just, again, not involved. He's just farming. Keeps ramping up. A lot of the times, you would like your Void to at least use the chrono when it's off cooldown. Then you can go back to
Udah, Cak. Datang. Lewat tok tuh.
Meanwhile, Ana, does he want to go for a solo kill? He does no damage. He actually has nothing. Moonlight Shadow's been burnt.
Anjing, mati gitu.
They're gonna walk into Thompson.
Oke.
Oh my.
Sekali.
Kurang Blay, damage-nya Blay.
Mata sedikit, mata. Jangan mati, Sep. Jangan mati, Cuk. Alah, maju, Cuk. Dia, Cuk.
Ana balik nah.
MOM. Lu tosnya gripnya mati, bro. Tosnya kena ini, Starfall ya? Iya, Cuk.
They're running for
Gripnya mati ya, nggak masuk damage anjing.
Gripnya mati, Cuk. Kedinai, Cuk. Anjing.
TZ never got close.
Ayo.
To attack. Thompson's actually wrapping around the side.
Ayo. Kamu nggak farming, dah. Bayangan aku nggak usah farming.
Take some damage. But they're here for the bounties. They're here for the money.
And now RTZ is catching up to Void. Would you believe it? He was so far behind, but this last sequence of OG is massive. They defend their tower. Yeah, they have point probability 2 to 1. It's a good tower. What can I say? They've been shooting it down as much as they could, but one misstep, one extension, and that figure chrono play, it just failed. They were just not in the right position with their heroes. Sam, is he just gonna... Okay, he's gonna get arrows,
Itu dia visor gelap soalnya.
Get comboed down. They will get the deny on this mid tower most likely.
It's a fantastic observer and sentry down from EG. Actually saw Thompson coming in with the blink dagger, so the reveal was actually found by the observer ward. But you do have this double jump, and this feels like a way that OG can just battle those 2-to-1 odds.
Tuntasnya udah masuk loh padahal.
We need to see a lot more action out of Thompson. I think he's playing an integral role right now in the game. His one overextension, second overextension, he got saved by OG by no-tail, but
TV-nya mengejar tuh.
you've got to be on your toes. Sitting back is not the play right now still.
But it still feels like he's waiting for Ana to be ready. Like, yeah, you got to be fighting, you got to be looking for kills, but how long until Ana will actually come into these fights? How long until they look for the combination arrow? Thompson's in the trees, he's fine.
Well, got rid of the siege creep, just saving some HP on the tower.
GRX is going to get his blink dagger on bottom lane as well.
They want to kill Sumail. He's such a huge kill. He's 7-0. They know this kill streak is extremely valuable, and he's going to bite. Bite?
Wait for it.
Awas, rame ku, Thompson!
Right behind Ana. Moonlight Shadow instantly burnt. The second Thompson jumped out of the tree lines, they went for it. Crit.
Tangkap begitu.
He's stalking him into the tree. The TB.
Didn't you see him blink?
Kira tanker.
Through?
Kira tanker itu, Cuk.
Oh, he doesn't have a combo. I don't know what that was. Alright. Probably, yeah, he overthought it perhaps, or thought the blink dagger was still ready. Whatever it was, he got out mid lane, gonna have a sleep, but they're not gonna be able to combo.
2-point nature's intended and 3 points untouchable. Seb's gonna stick around and attempt to deny.
Tombak malam. Enak.
He's gonna get punished. Looking for the
Kamu mau suka? Kamu malah dua. Malah mau suka.
But they can't keep the pressure up just yet. But called out any more space for the Urga. Seb's willing to run into it, but now the top.
Mati kamu. Waduh, dia hilang.
And Thompson, he'll actually have the extra line for the false promise. The black cannon from Sumail as much damage as he can. And now, maybe with the impetus, they have enough damage.
No! No! Waduh, rusak. Cuk. Kacau. Chrono! Yo, wes itu. Wes gak mau, wes sepenting oleh, wes. Apa, kemitas ini, Cuk. Iya.
Spellcasting, they can't be happy with that. OG. Thompson blinks and tries to get the toss of gyro, doesn't get it. Second attempt, he tosses out the shaker. I think. Wasn't that what he did? I think that's what he did. That was really chaotic, but it looked like he tossed out the shaker.
TB mulai mengejar, Blay.
Pasang bendera.
Something back here, but yeah, having another look at that fight and seeing the series of events. It definitely feels like such a hard run for OG, but hey, they were down to 33%.
Sumailnya tajir tapi, Blay.
It's going to be hard no matter what.
Ya, dia farm terus, udah ikut perang udah.
It's looking better and spicy. Crit will
It's looking spicy.
be getting the Spirit Vessel now. It's going to help them have options. So here you go. There's the Enchant Echo combo. There it is. He tosses him out. They both get slept. The Spitter comes down the middle. Fortunately for OG, Turboblade is not useful right now when it comes to fighting, so they don't get punished harder than that because it's only the 4 heroes, but more space for RTZ. He is still gaining in this game, and Sumail staying alive is really, really big for them. He's such a valuable kill. They get the Ogre, it's something, but he's actually lower net worth than his Mirana now. S4 still aiming for 20-minute minus.
They're so close, they can smell it. Sumail wants the kill on bottom lane. And he'll have to use his own ultimate, the false promise, trying to escape from this illusion. He's not getting the time to actually heal up in the tree line. Won't be fine anyway.
What? Time is money.
Yeah.
Looked like Crit might want to try to chase him there. Oh, Sumail's gonna see him.
Hey, no, there's a tree, man. There's a tree.
He didn't see him.
Oh, now he'll see him.
Told you he was gonna see him.
The blink dagger's off cooldown. He'll blink over, but hey, Crit's over here. And so's No-Tail. Sumail, if he wants to try and chase this, there's a lot of help. But Seb hit by that long stun duration of Crit. So they still wanted to play catch.
send a lot of defensive heroes in to keep Shaker safe. They do manage. But that's about all to come out from that.
It has to be the slowest Midas for an ogre I've seen.
It's very slow. Oh, RTZ, this will be a huge kill for Thompson.
He would love it. Avalanche, Thompson.
Wah, disander cuk.
Baru nafsu kamu Dik.
RTZ knew his limits. You saw Thompson wasn't completely convinced.
Okay, passionnya.
So he started hitting first before going for the Avatos combo to get him low enough. But even then, it was still not enough. RTZ.
Wah, balik tuh Ege cuk.
Oh, that's so bad news for them. RTZ got the kill on Thompson. That's another 425 gold. He almost has BKB now. These 2 kills in mid lane, Samel. They're just progressing so well in the game, and all of this while, again, Chrono is ready. How many Chronos have they used this game? Like 1, 2?
Yeah, 1, 2, 2. I have
maybe
2.
2.
Mid lane and north of Roshan. I think it was the 2 I remember.
This is a 21-minute game where Ana actually had a pretty good laning stage. We thought it was going to be harder than it was, and I think OG kind of need him if they make moves. The logic that they're playing the Void with just staying out of fights and farming a lot, he is a hard carry, but you have to consider what you're giving away by doing this. This is the time that your lineup is supposed to peak, where you're the ones who are supposed to make the moves. And I'm fine with him AFK farming when Chrono's on cooldown. Absolutely. I don't think he should be looking for fights with time dilation and only that and the time off, but
yeah,
his team needs him right now.
Meanwhile, EG continues to farm. Samael's got Aghanim Scepter, the Maelstrom's coming out in the courier. BKB is now arrived for the Terrorblade. Seth trying to go on to S4. Antifire's got at least he got it off before he died, but S4's down once again.
Next time.
Moonlight Shadow from EG did not arrive in time.
Chrono,
And Thompson just once more. Walking up blindly uphill.
Dire's middle tower.
But Samel is ready to fight. This courier still
Mati Thompson.
Thompson, Avalanche, Thompson's doing so much damage. Help is there. Just needs to get the hell out of here.
Bro, aja. Oh, nice. Oh. Nice. Dapat semua.
Wah, kalau dapat semua mantul.
That's the big fight from OG that we were waiting for.
Yang terfeed.
GALAX and you just see the follow through. Void was involved this time, gets an easy double kill with the Chrono. And Sep ends the streak of the Gyro, getting 800 gold, closing in on his BKB. And RTZ had BKB there, he just didn't get it off.
Yep.
He got surprised by the stuns, got blown up. All that magic damage from the Shaker currently is enough. Later on it will be harder, but for now it gets the job done.
This is danger zone for EG. The items will start to roll in. You said like you look towards the BKB for the Enchantress, but I'm looking towards the Aghanim Scepter of Thompson. What happens when this Chrono starts to be amplified more than just Anand's Mjolnir attack? He's going for his own BKB too.
Yeah.
Yang mereka udah
Notel's looking for earn charges. Next items on the wish list.
Thompson
just want to kill them all.
Tangkap ini.
Smoke up all
This is the time to take a good fight. They have Metamorphosis as well. They might just force Rogue.
Gonna go Roshan. Do they break the smoke though?
Dire's middle
Notel is a little bit too far away, so they slip inside the pit. And OG's been checking for a while.
Sadar ini tuh.
They die so fast.
Wow, mapek tuh, mapek.
50%.
Side gunner.
Oh, cepet banget cuk.
It's walking out. That may be enough from Seth, but it's already done. EG under the cover. With the Aghanim Scepter. There goes the Immortal Gyrocopter ready to fight.
That's a great play call. Alright, OG, you've got a good team fight with your ultimates now. We're gonna get something for free. And I think OG knew that this rush was happening. I don't even know if they would have come there. I think that fight is extremely hard to take. You're fighting against Elder Titan in the pit. There's a Mirana that can arrow you from all angles, and you don't have your big spells to kill the target.
So now EG have to smoke and go again. That's kind of like their choice. But I'm not seeing a smoke on anyone from EG.
I think they want to chill until Terrorblade has meta. Terrorblade's gonna jump.
That's not what they want. How about the Arrow?
Waduh, cuk.
Chrono ya, Chrono.
Shields able just to bounce it off with a proc to get the kill on S4.
RTZ nggak mati, Bang.
And I think OG, all things considered there, with the kill failing to begin with, getting Sunder
PKP sama Talent Action.
they'll take that 1-for-1 trade. That could have got way worse.
And still having Echo.
Yo, halo? Ana, halo? Naik ini. Ada pas lompat tuh.
So much damage, and that time there was no Oracle save. Didn't have
Wah,
the
kena
false promise, it was on
panai.
cooldown. And Ana farmed up aggressively and got punished.
Boys,
Easier fast. They're really quick to exploit openings in this game. And while their lead might not be that big in terms of the net worth, you have this feeling that their game plan is just progressing nicely from these.
Waduh, intro boys, Blay.
The Terrorblade starting to get some more health. Sanjin Yasha completed now on our
Topside mati lagi.
Mati lagi. Blinks into the tree, starts his TP. They're ping exactly where he is, but no one can reach him. I'm loving this bottle swap over. Yeah, give him the arcane, get the push going.
Yep, meta ready in 5, so you imagine they're still looking for that tiny. They really didn't think he had
tajir, Blay.
Fun item for the Ogre. No auras for this Ogre. Blink, dagger, hand of Midas. And fly. Yeah, give it some scream. Anna. Alright, yep, that happens.
EP itu emang membahayakan ini tuh.
Radiant's bottom tower
I've seen that look on someone's face before. It's the oh fuck face.
Didn't seem to give that many Fs.
No. I mean,
like we'll just get back to it again, right? Like, hey, next combo. That's the way to go.
OG's spirit has been.
But
if this continues, they might lose a series 2-0, and then we'll see how unbreakable it will be in the lower bracket. But the game, they need to look for a fight. They have all the spells, Chrono's up, Tiny combos up.
Top song kena, cuk.
Mau cari siapa si Thompson ini, cuk?
He was like 8-1 at one point. Now he's 11-4. That's not the same momentum
Udah nggak bisa di combo lagi, cuk.
With the meta, so they will definitely be looking to do some damage to this mid-tier 2 tower. Still with the Aegis in hand on Sumail. Scouting arrow will not find anything, but don't think OG are interested in trying to defend this.
No, they actually need 200 gold. Anna is trying to run up into the jungle to get his BKB. Now it's 100 gold, so time will go. He doesn't have a crawling blade. He actually has to wait for the time. But it's okay. EG's only going to take the tier 2 tower in the meantime.
I wonder what RTZ's going next. If he wants to go Scotty or if he wants to go Butterfly. Because both of them have really good HP in this game. The Butterfly giving the evasion against both the Enchantress impetus, against the Void, and of course against the tiny tree throw, the agility armor still adds up. And he will go Butter over the Scotty. Favors the... Feels like it's overall tankiness. I feel like it's comparable in this game. I think a Scotty and a Butterfly will give roughly... Maybe the Butter will even give him more health against these heroes. And Treads switch onto Strength. You'll have about 2.2k health when the Butterfly arrives later.
You could normally say, like, hey, why not both? But if Archie get one good fight, he may not have that option for the second.
It's true. OG are absolutely not out of it yet. It's not like this game is over.
You got Tiny beating the crap out of a tier 2 towers. No one's here from EG to fight this. Anna will come in to help out as well with the BKB completed. The combo's up from OG. EG does have to give it some level of respect.
The thing OG need to make sure of is that they find a way of combining their Shaker and Void effectively. One of the weaknesses of this pairing is that to an extent they do the same thing in the fight. Shaker wants to blink Echo and stun lockdown people. Void wants to blink Chrono or jump in Chrono and do the same thing. But they can't do it on top of each other. It needs to be delayed. If they get the idea at the same time, it can be a disaster. If they layer it perfectly, it's super nice. So, gotta pay good attention to how the fight's starting off.
Now this is a lot of patience from EG on the top lane. How long do they hold this? No one's coming to defend the tier 1 tower. Alright, maybe we should push it.
Jemput!
Iya, dia 30-minute bounty runes.
Dulu dia buka chatnya dia anjing, gue manggil dia.
This is bread and butter for Terrorblades. And well, maybe he has to Chrono to actually save it. The Fissure holds him out. The 4-star pushes him away.
Ya, nanya kena panah.
Bisa, ayo. Ayo,
Chrono. Ego.
Best aja.
Wah, kena cuk.
What the fuck? Maaf, hack anjing.
Leap away. Oh, maybe the pickle off the burger. Tree toss gonna be on.
Wah, jarak Tuhan nih anjing.
Back marah. Salah Thompson.
Nggak ada TP cuk. Nggak bisa pulang, nggak ada TP.
Jalan dia. Rex ini cuk. Tetap cuma berdua aja. Rex, pilih.
Buruan, 10 detik.
Oh, pilih back.
Mantul.
Pulang.
Kabur.
Halo, Jerak. Pulang.
Jerak.
Pulang.
Tinggal.
And they did get the full lane. They didn't stop the siege. S4 went for the aggressive stun.
Look at the money as well. MKB got completed already. Do you still go RTZ in for the butterfly?
I think he might plan now and go Scotty. I think now it's
I don't think he's seen it though. Like in the quick play.
Tungguin. Kita biasa aja tungguin.
They didn't get the information on Anna.
He doesn't buy that now. That's bold.
Masa mau banter?
They need to keep these lanes pushed out and buy RTZ the time to farm.
Jangan lagi Anna.
Win expectancy we've just had.
Masih lanjut banter aja.
Over the last 5 minutes.
juga ada efek.
Almost
PT itu RTZ anjing aku ini cuk.
So now OG have about 60.
So all these combinations starting to arrive for OG. Gives you confidence going into the team fights as long as they're off cooldown. But I gotta say, man, I'm loving this Durax ES more than I was loving the ES in the first game. He is just being everywhere. He feels sacrificial, but he's never properly sacrificed. Just able to live, chain stun perfectly. Scouting arrow won't find anybody. Actually,
Scan di bawah kakinya Jerak. Ada yang hilang nggak ya?
Like he has all these good chain stuns. They don't have a save on in EG's lineup.
Awas,
OG, they have the
kenapa
Oracle team to save people that get in trouble. EG, however, if
Dua
RTZ
kali
gets
mati
spawned,
dia kenapa?
the only save that they have for him is trying to stomp some heroes on the enemy team, but you're not stomping this BKB Void, and you're not stomping the BKB Ent, so who are you gonna stop? Like, these are the guys killing him right now.
Need some Ghostbusters. Hurricane Plank totally done on the Enchantress. EG, they're smoking up to move out. This could just be a ward mission. They do have 2 of them on fly. They need to get planted.
Son, lo ngapain Son? Cabut Son.
Gue ketet, gue selalu lihat
Bareng apa bareng jalannya? Doyan banget yang offset gitu anjing.
Ini nih.
Anna.
What? Gak nyampe mas.
Mencar tuh, nggak jelas kemana.
But he won't go it. Remember, Roshan's the target. They can't spend these huge abilities on anything other than EG heroes.
Really nice dodge from EG. I think honestly, broken by the ogre, I think it was, and he blinked away instantly, and Anna tried to chase and find something but couldn't get it. So not fruitful there from OG, but they get control of the area, which also has value with Roshan up.
Nah, udah ini yang jelas-jelas saya udah barengan ayo. Kelarkan.
Grecokin 15. Enggak, dapat duluan.
Nggak bisa, mereka kontes. Ayo
Son, sikat Son. Oh. Nah, bagus Son.
Gitu dong.
Gitu dong Son.
Midas itu loh, Midas pasif nih.
Iya itu Midas kenapa nggak dipakai? Wah akhirnya dipakai.
Tadi udah nyepat di Rosan cuy, kok nggak bisa, what the fuck? What the fuck, I cannot Midas Rosan. Dapat berapa?
I know you've got to be really careful as EG. The push will be coming eventually. I think a lot of pressure right now is on Fly's shoulders. Get a good stomp. Get a good splitter off. They will need every bit of damage they can get.
RTC gak ada buyback gitu.
I'm wondering if the
Nggak ada buyback.
Gak ada pattern ya. Kau pencet I aja, kau pencet I di game kan kelihatan.
BKB on Ogre. This is very unusual from S4.
Stop song nggak ada, chat nggak ada.
Getting chain stunned, he can perhaps provide like a pseudo save for RTZ by just going in and stunning people.
Where are actually any of their auras? This is gonna be one of the few games that we haven't seen even a Vlad's picked up. Like, there's nothing from EG.
And that's bad news for Terrorblade. He loves to have Vlads in his
The best thing is a ring of Basilica.
Baca aku ngeflick batu, cuk, batu. Bon.
2000 semua cuy dia punya ini.
Prioritizing getting a solar crest.
Dia punya BP.
I think it's a better choice than a Vlads too. You need to protect that one key guy that gets hit in the chrono.
Udah ada TB-nya Black.
Between life and death.
TP's coming towards the top.
There's still a bounty rune up here.
36.5 minutes in, Crit's gonna show himself and GRX is instantly gonna jump.
Kasih tahu. Ya salah lompat kan. Ada gem tuh.
Halo.
Tip dulu. Mantap, ngetip temannya. Ngetip temennya, soalnya goblok temennya. Oh, kamu goblok ngetip, men. Nah.
And they get him. Good read from OG, sending up these two heroes here, expecting that somebody will go and push the lane out, and they are right.
EG just trapped in the base for now. OG
Wah,
looking for the killer blow.
masih jauh tuh, gak ada ulti.
Itu anak kan. Tersat merinding aku lihatnya, cuk.
Trying to find trees to work with. All I need to do is get that nice chronosphere.
Aduh. Multicastnya aduh.
Anastasia drop low, can't really time walk off a lot of that damage, but hey, Seb is there to attend to his wounds. The real mercy.
Ada Eko Black.
Enggak lah.
Enggak ada Eko.
I agree.
Iya nggak ada Eko Black.
Kenapa? Nah ya Allah.
Buset, sakit cok.
What? Mantap.
Dilemparin.
Lemparin dai.
What? The melee rack is gonna fall. Anna's still waiting for the right chronosphere time. Martizi playing on the edge. He's got to dodge some of the damage.
Chrono cakep. Jadi tai kau Artizi anjing. Ada Artizi ada bebek.
Anjing.
Balik. Balik.
Jangan.
Mantul. Nggak apa-apa. Mantul.
Nggak hilang.
Really expensive hold. They had to buy back their terrible gyro
Gila teror kulit Cairo itu bisa mati kayak gitu.
Sekali lempar kritikal 50.
It's like the worst trade in the history of trade deals. Maybe ever. That's really bad.
What the fuck? Someone get the my hero. What the fuck?
Gak ada meta nih.
Yeah, OG are feeling very comfortable right now in this game. The problem is that RTZ actually they have a really good frontliner, right? You want somebody that goes in first, starts the fight so that RTZ and Samael don't get targeted, but the only guy who can really do it with is Ogre. But he's not slow enough to feel like he can do it. If he blinks speaking, he goes in. He's just gotta get focused. And there's the damage.
Sakit cok.
Allah. Almost kills S4. He'd be dreaming of having that plus 40 strength. He's a quarter of a level away from it. Even then, I don't know if it'll help. The damage just seems to get stronger and stronger from OG. This will be reclaimed. But now Void has a Lincoln Spear as well. He's going for an agony.
Ini Ana dikasih sendirian cuk sama si siapa?
As many chronos as they can get every minute.
Ada buyback tuh Ana.
Yeah.
Lincoln's popped.
But where's the opening?
OG wanna go.
Top belum ada duit, Blay. Oh ini dapat tower dapat ya.
Mungkin kelihatan itu.
Di belakang nih.
What do they do?
Kelihatan.
Smoke's already breaking on Senheiser.
Apa?
He's got BKB. He knows he can just feed that attractor. Who wants to come in from
Kelihatan tadi pas ke sini.
jumping into the back.
Wah, mati. Perang kita. Dapat.
Krono.
Dipancing di PKB-nya. Dapat nih.
Mati udah kalian semua, cuk. GG. GG, bye.
Draft.
Anak.
Lempar batu markasnya. Lempar batu markasnya. Pasang bendera. Bendera mana? Bendera? Enggak lah. Ini ngapain? Ini
Mati kau Sumail. GG lah. Udah GG.
Kasih tip dulu, mati terakhir. Kasih bendera. Wah, orang semua Mac prediction-nya Mac. Gara-gara anak top shot.
Masih songong.
Isi predik guys.
Bukan hotel nih.
Top shot lah.
Gue juga kasih top shot ini.
Kasih bendera anjing. Mana mukanya mana?
Cuk.
Ya, Sumail sedih. Set. RTC baby cry cuk.
And boy, did they hit hard when they got it.
Yeah, they did, and man, that's gonna hit hard for Evil Geniuses. Now leveled up, they looked very, very happy at the end of game 1. I love how Nortel even just stops for a moment, looking back. It's like, come on, man, everybody together. Let's walk out of here. We're good.
The biggest difference between these two teams in this game, when draft-wise, there's obviously many differences, but one of the really big things, OG with the save. Nortel has a huge impact in this game with this Oracle save. EG, they couldn't match it.
Well, let's see who can save it out. Series tied 1-1.
Harus seru Blay ini Blay.
And that is the way we like it. Game 3 between these two titans. Redo of last year is the other way around, you know, but going the distance is always a joy to watch these two teams play. We're going to break down the game a little bit.
Itu anak ngeselin
I wanted to start with you because you know you watch your boys play and they didn't cut it this time.
No, they didn't. It was an insanely good draft from OG. As he said, right, if you last pick your 5, it better have a huge impact, and it did. Save after save. Tops and middle played an extraordinary game. I mean, Sumail did. Both middle players were probably some of the best players that game, but Thompson, he ran around, made a ton of space. Arteezy's life was hell for like 15 to 20 minutes. He had absolutely no impact.
It was a tough game for him for sure. It looked great though. What do you got? What do you got for us tonight? Why are you pointing to this task? What do you see here that you find worth?
Thompson's KDA ratio 13-4-15. This man participated nearly in every single engagement that last toss into the Chronosphere, and there's something very specific that you mentioned, Grant, that Arteezy's life was hell.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you exactly why it was hell. Gentlemen, what do you know about vision? Blitz?
It's pretty important.
It's pretty important. That's correct. Tell me what exactly this thing is.
That's a ward.
That's a ward. That's an observer ward. And they last for a great deal of time. So, you know, they get placed at some point in time. You move on with your life, blah, blah, blah. But Thompson always takes advantage of these situations. He sees Arteezy farming the jungle. He wants to make sure that this is never a comfortable situation for him. Kills him easy. That ward, everybody gets one. Can you get 2 with the same ward? Let me tell you something, you can. As we see here, it is yet again the same ward. And Arteezy is yet again farming the same area. This camp, it's all the same to Thompson. He just wants kills. So Thompson, GALAX, you'd think he'd have an Aghanim Scepter. No, it's only 10 minutes into the game. That was just a tiny toss. so much vision control here, and Thompson just continues dominating the entire map. You see here, Mirana has nowhere left to go. She can't go north, she can't go east. Gets a Thompson to the face, and he's still not done. Sees Fly cruising around the mid lane. He's just gonna keep on prowl. I don't even know what you would call that walk cycle from Thompson. Perfect fissure block from GPRO. Flies cornered like a rat.
Suka-suka dia mau main gimana
Down he goes.
Parah, tinggal muter-muter doang anjing sama kita ini.
This is more like kill patterns.
Systematic.
Yeah, just, I mean, as he said, the first time RTZ does that ward, you're like, all right, the fact that no one went out and dewarded it, like, you had to know there's a ward there, just a little bit of a misplay. 2 deaths on a TB from 1 ward is very impactful, as Tsunami just showed.
Yeah, that was crazy, actually. And we talked about, Will, if OG could recover, reset, relax, and go back into this second game clean. Felt like they came back with a plan. It looked not completely clean, but definitely a lot cleaner than game 1.
Oh, for sure. And I don't know if OG games are ever really that clean. Like, they're a little bit clowny because they're willing to fight you on any terms. Like, as soon as they hit their item timings, I feel like this team is like, it's go time. We're just going to engage nonstop. So sometimes it's going to look a little bit awkward like we saw, but when it goes well, it goes really well.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to like the team fight, right? One side had a Void and an Earthshaker. The other side, like, what's your biggest team fight? You have a TB, a Mirana, an Ogre. You don't have these end-all, be-all spells. So eventually, if they hit those spells, you're gonna lose because you're a single target.
Yep, you are indeed. Now we have a little bit of time before we get this third game going, which means I can finally get to ask Blitz the question. What was the story?
Oh, okay.
Wait, what's story?
So he's been saying that he had a story, and we didn't have time in the first panel. We didn't have time in the second panel. And now finally, you know, this is a hype building for me. What is the story?
Alright, so ESL Birmingham.
This year or last year?
Last year. And I heard rumblings that they were gonna get. I didn't know about Fly, but I heard about S4. That was like the first thing that happened. So, of course, OG did pretty terrible at the tournament, and I went up to Seb at the end of the tournament, and I was like, I thought he knew about the kick. That's what this was about. I thought he knew about the kick. No. So I go up to him, and I was just like, rough times, man. And he's like, it's only ESL, like, it's all good, man. I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's just like, it's just ESL, it's not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, shit, like, I gotta backpedal onto this. And he saw my face, and he was trying to figure it out. And then he just left it alone. And later on, he told me that's how he knew, like, stuff went down the way that it went down.
So you're a snitch?
No, I wasn't trying to be. I thought I was trying to be because I like Seb. He was talented too. We briefly, for like 3 days, made a team together. And so he was like, hey. I was trying to console him. I was like, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
He's just like, why? CSL, who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, I've never been by one, whatever.
So wait, is that the only TI player you've played with?
I didn't even play. Here's how it went down. It was like he was talent. Remember at TI?
Hey, we
were at TI 5 together, and he was just like, "Hey, we should play together." And I was like, "Okay." And then I played like 2 days, and I was like, "I'm not good. Like, I'm gonna hold you back. I'm gonna
kicked yourself.
I'm gonna be real here." Yeah, I played with Sin too for a bit, and I was like, "Wow." I was like, "This is a bad idea. I shouldn't do this." And BSJ, in fact, I played with like everybody. I played with 2 of the people on that panel.
Gimana? Coba korek doang
ditched me famously in Korea.
Liquid kapan main? Kapan main?
Besok. Yeah. What about those?
Besok terakhir. RNG.
That was like 4.
This is like 4. You're a Nexon League champ.
RNG
Liquid trophy.
Okay.
I was the only one that wanted it. Everyone's like, I don't care. You can have it.
You still have it?
Berarti
I'm not just gonna throw that away.
RNG
We're gonna get one of those in 20 years.
You want to know what we did with our money? The first thing we did when we won that, we went to a Taco Bell in Korea. That's what Bambo wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's the way I would celebrate.
And Monte Cristo was there.
Yeah, Monte Cristo was there too.
Wow.
Yeah, panel
I am
was like
disappointed.
Ngawur.
I'm impressed. Heard you're a man of
We saw the EG, right, be super American. When I first got here, you know what we did? First thing I know we had to do, Blitz was missing. We hit up the Chili's in China, and it was amazing.
Bukunya Sep dikeluarin semua ini.
That was the first restaurant I've been to in Shanghai. You know that?
Lembaran skripsinya Sep dikeluarin semua ini, Mbak.
Impressed and disappointed at the same time. time, and I did not know that that was possible.
Impress-appointed.
Impress-appointed. I'm sure someone that is impress-appointed an awful lot is someone else on our broadcast team. It is Sir Action Slacks. What are you doing?
What am I doing? Shit,
dapat
I'm in
lah.
the crowd. It's still electric out here. You know, it might be a little late, but
Udah
Shanghai
mau main nggak,
never
Cok?
goes
Aku
to
pengen
sleep
live
when
aja.
there's good donut. Speaking of which,
Habis
sir, how you
ginian.
doing this evening?
Habis ginian, betul.
Wah, gua sampai pagi soalnya.
OG and
Tidak gua solo lah.
You came to see OG. What do you think? Pretty good comeback?
in fact, I'm the LGD fans.
You're an LGD fan, but this series
I want to see LGD Revenger.
Yes!
So I will support for OG today.
I think we all want to see that. Sir, who are you supporting?
Actually, LGD Gaming. But I'm also EG fans.
Ah, okay.
Alright.
Why do you want to see EG win?
Because I'm the fans of Atom.
Oh.
Right. I play in like 6 years.
Who isn't a fan of Artor? Now, I asked you two in particular to come up because you had two people that didn't want to be on camera. Madame, why didn't you want to be on camera, my dear?
Hello.
And we also had this man who didn't want to be on camera. Why didn't you not want to be on camera, sir?
Sumisa.
Oh, where are you going? Oh, this guy really doesn't want to be. Hello, my friend. Hello, how are you?
Fine.
You're fine. What do you think of the series, sir?
Dia mau pergi dong.
Hello? Stay with him. Oh, my friend, I'm so sorry. Can you at least give us a let's go somebody? Who's your favorite team?
LGT.
All right, give me a let's go LGD so you look badass.
Miraju.
Let's go LGT.
You did your best. All right, guys, we still got energy? Are we still awake in this arena? Let me hear it. A little bit. Woo! One guy back there's got it. All right, yeah!
Wah, ini keren sini, Cuk. Fuck. No. Stop.
We still got energy.
Stop, jangan.
Cringe AF.
Jangan.
Of seeing
Aduh,
the guy that
cringe,
was
Cuk.
videotaping the whole
Cringe.
thing and seeing his perspective.
Aduh, kenapa harus begitu sih?
Kenapa? Udah langsung closing aja, udah lempar pindah PN lagi.
Let me just put you in a headlock real
Cringe overload.
Apa sih harus?
We have a little bit of time, and I'm gonna make you guys feel old. You ready?
Okay, I'm always ready.
All right, we've been talking about Sumail and how he won his first TI. This is his 5th TI.
What? That can't be true.
It is true.
Why would that make Granfield hold? He's 19.
Yeah. I don't look a day over 16. I'm feeling great.
What does that mean?
I don't know. He's making me feel good. No, it's crazy. I remember the first time I actually met Sumail. It was a D2L, the only tournament I've ever went to in Vegas.
Yeah.
And he was so young. That's the famous picture with all the Chinese players behind him watching it. He looked so young, and I remember that tournament. It was not a very good tournament. And Sumail, he didn't look good. Like, honestly, he picked him up. Yeah, he was, and it didn't help that there was 40% packet loss during the whole tournament. But like this guy, he got last place. He lost to a team with Demon standing in on it. So I was like, this guy can't be the future. And then, you know, Q forward 6 months, he's winning a TI, and what do you know?
Didn't EG produce that tournament?
BenQ, Sheever?
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
no, but
Conrad
there was some affiliation.
Yeah,
true.
there was strong affiliation. Conrad was like the guy who ran production.
Well, it was just a trial tournament to get Sumail comfortable with playing.
And it worked.
It worked because after that they went to DAC 2015. They went to China. They went to Shanghai and they crushed it.
They went on a storm. That was like that was EG's best time.
Storm.
Probably.
I see what you did there. A
Thank
storm.
You.
I get it.
Yeah. What a journey that has been. It's been actually crazy. That EG always has been very high at the top in a lot of internationals. And right now, I mean, even if they don't win the next game, they're still top 6, right? Yes.
Well,
which is still really good, and I'm assuming that they're...
I don't think either team's okay with that, though, right? If you ask OG or EG, are you okay with the top 6? They're going to be like, no, it's a win or nothing. It's a win or we don't give a shit kind of thing.
Well, you tell me. You know, we're about to see these players take the stage for the 3rd time in this series. Do they look like they will be okay at being top 6? No! That is the face of someone who wants to take his 2nd international. Where's first? That's second in a second. We actually have 7 TI winners taking the stage right now. And 8
It is. That is absolutely crazy, and they both look confident, right? Like neither team's coming up kind of sad. You see Sumail leading the way, smiling. No Tail on the other side doing the exact same thing. We're just ready for some good Dota.
We really are. Now we know that the best thing to deal with OG is ban out the IO and the mag. We've seen OG do that, or sorry, EG do that both times around. I'm assuming it's going to be happening again. I'm curious to find out what makes these two teams, even if they don't have the IO and the mag, what makes these two teams be such a good match for each other, because they do tend to push each other to the limits. Well, you want to take this one?
I think it's they have like a similar way. And I don't mean like in terms of like early late game. I think it comes on like the item timings. It's when Arteezy and Anase like we're both ready to fight at this point. So they're willing to push each other at different points. Like, and also they're really highly skilled too. So it just sort of leads to like a nice chess match where one team wants the game to go and end at one point, and conversely it's true too. Like if you see how they play Void, for example, and like how he rotates, he wants to hit his item timing first. He wants.
Jadi Bandung nih Yan, katanya mau Bandung Yan.
Ini gue mau ke Bandung, Mansen.
Oh my god.
Sort of similar. They're just a little bit slower pace in that way.
Easy wants that second.
Naik apa ya? Kereta.
Yeah, and I think it's because he realized like he
Good luck, Yan.
a little bit earlier than he would have liked. I like how they just push each other, and plus like the rivalry aspect of it, I think always just makes the game a little bit more hype.
Yeah, it does. They're never just going to go down like, sure, game 1 was stomp, but that's exactly why it comes back to game 2. It's never going to be a straight-up 2-0 stomp. No matter what people think, no matter who's the best team in the world, like, they're always going to push each other.
And you know how often it is, we like a good story, and we like it when there's, a little bit of spice in there, too. And often the players are like, you know what, I don't care who I play. I just want to win. This time, we know they care. They all changed their profile pictures on Steam to place the banners to No-Tail's face when the handshake happened, which, by the way, there will be a handshake. We don't know which one yet, but there will be a handshake after the next game. I mean, I personally love the drama.
I mean, to be fair, that was some of the times you said that even other players want to do it for the memes. They play it up because they find it humorous as well. Almost the shipping culture that happens whenever these rivalries are formed.
Yeah, but Timoman said that if for whatever reason, like his dream was to play against Liquid in the lower bracket, and if he knocked him out, he was gonna do like a fake angry.
Beneran motornya udah boleh kagak. Jalan-jalan dong. Tadi gue juga mau ke Bandung. Mau nggak jadi?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Shiva, they got 18.
But that means he didn't think that he would win.
Let me just say the expectations were, they were as is.
I mean, that being said, I do hope that people can like separate the entertainment aspect versus the actual drama aspect, because obviously we like talking about this kind of stuff. I don't know what Fly's thinking. I don't know what No-Tail's thinking. These people are real people with real families, real lives, and that kind of stuff. And so I think it's important that viewers and us can kind of separate the concept of, what happens here whenever the cameras go off, whenever the GGs are called. These people continue leading their lives, and so you don't necessarily need to like push your drama on it.
I can assure you, after all that happened, though, it was real beef.
Yes,
there was no fake drama in that.
But it's been a
year.
It has
Tergantung
been.
draft play.
How do you feel about that? You just saw OG, the team who's pretty much just making fun of you the whole year. Go and win that TI. Like a year later, you're here again. I feel like the same feelings are definitely coming back up again.
Yeah, I feel like that is true for a lot of people. The point you made, Tsunami, it's true. Like for example, if you look at Kuro and Puppy, they are rivals, and we like to play that up. But in reality, they are respecting of each other, and they're both happy at the place they're at now, as we saw in an interview earlier today.
Although, didn't Kuro say in that interview, are we friends?
Yeah, that was a joke, though.
Oh, okay. You say so.
Invited him to his wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Kuro was at Puppy's wedding.
What if it was the red wedding?
Oh, yeah, well.
I was at the wedding. I'm still alive.
Okay, so it was good. All right, Shiva, thank you for confirming. I was getting nervous, but we're
good. It's all good. It's all good. No, I think that this is some
drama
that, I call it drama.
Apa?
In-game
beef.
In-game udah.
That is definitely real.
Things need resolution.
Yeah.
Not the player.
This is true. You know what we also we need some
Yeah,
Dota 2 played. We need a game 3. But for that, we need a draft. We need some heroes chosen. So let's go to that draft.
Oh, OG versus
Geniuses turn to bad.
Geniuses. Game 3.
The deciding game 3 coming up in just a second. The winner of this is going to go on to face...
Not too sure, but it's looking like Enchantress is a pretty hot one that's going to be contested. It might be deciding quite a bit here in this matchup, as we saw lanes were really important in that last game.
Di-ban lagi cuy Io-nya.
It does feel like Enchantress seems to just
Apa
like
Io-nya,
want to have
Iya
that
cuk, selalu.
advantage coming out of the laning phase.
Enchantress is Enchantress, but I just realized like the mid lane is so important. I think both games, whoever won mid just had the game on their backs. Like Thompson or super hyper aggressive mid player who, you know, if the advantage is given, or as I say that, they pick Enchantress again.
So almost exactly the same bands. The only difference is Elder Titan was in the first phase instead of Ancient Apparition, similar to the first game draft, except pick order is flipped as well.
So as I was saying, I think like this Thompson, this Sumer, these two players just love to kill heroes, and if they're given the advantage, they're just gonna go for blood. So I think the mid matchup is really important between these two teams.
Yeah, I want to see, in particular, at least for OG, I want to see them playing some of these run around and make kills happen with like the Monkey King or the Tiny. EG, they're going to deny that. They're actually going to take the Tiny away this time around.
I feel like one of the strengths that Thompson has as a player is his ability to just like go insane. He makes your opponents look like pub opponents, is what it seems like. And he was able to do that last game. He got 3 kills like Tsunami showed within a matter of 1 minute. It was insane to watch. Can he do that again without Tiny? Like, what's the hero substitute that would solve that?
That's why I said
Does
Monkey
he need
King.
to do it? Monkey King is definitely one of those heroes that he does it with, but can you beat a Tiny in lane with Monkey King? I guess he has no armor at level 1. It could work.
I used to see the matchup actually a lot last year, and it was like pretty back and forth. I think the Monkey King won most of those though.
Okay.
But it's also the mid game is like concerning too, because you can also just get burst down.
And there's a roaming Mirage.
And there's going to be a roaming.
Yeah, the armor toss into an arrow, it can be very devastating.
Yeah.
Is this going to be Thompson Invoker again?
This is probably flex pick, right? I think it can still be JRX's hero for sure. I think you leave it open until you see what lane you're against for sure in the mid lane. And I think when you have the Enchantress, it allows you the luxury of actually being able to go for a little bit more of a greedy 4 position, because Enchantress just has a pretty good lane.
So you can put a weaker hero with her, and then it'll transition into late game well, and the laning stage won't be terrible, right?
Yeah, and like Enchantress, like I talked about game 2, needs some AoE teamfight control, and Invoker provides that.
Yep.
On position 4, so it can be a position 4.
I'm actually going to ban the SD finally. Wasn't being banned out in the last 2 games, but this time I guess because they do have that Mirana and they're not maybe wanting to have a save this time around, because last time, right, they saved that Oracle for last pick to save versus the combo.
Yeah, that's right. Basis Void was integral for OG in the late game. In the mid game, he ate a lot of arrows. Maybe a good thing, but yeah, not going to have that this game. So it's going to be a lot harder for OG to set up guaranteed teamfight wins later on.
Yeah, Void and Invoker is such a devastating combo together. The Void Chrono into Cataclysm in the late game is pretty devastating, so I think they're just taking that out.
I love seeing, you know, TI is so great because you always like do the full circle back to like either super carries getting picked up like anti-mage, or it's just like these massive team fight lineups that just constantly are battling. Like you were mentioning in the last game, what we had 50-something kills in the 40-minute mark, or even more than that, something like that. It's just non-stop aggression, non-stop fighting, non-stop trying to take these battles. And usually the team with the better team fight at the TI main stage ends up having an easier time, at least at executing.
It just really helps when you have a hero that can grasp win. Like, you know where they are, you see them, you can jump in, hard disable them, guarantee kills. That makes a huge difference. It really helped against the Terrorblade, especially. Once you Chronosphere him, you're like, okay, if you don't have a save, you're dead, period. It makes the game a lot easier.
Especially for these teams too. I think EG, OG, compared to like these Chinese teams, they really love to fight early and just like spill a lot of blood.
Evil geniuses
We'll see if they can
bad.
do the same thing. Centaur banned now. Mobile hero, burst damage, has a pretty good time getting his team on top of the enemy team. So maybe they're worried about the carry versus offlane matchup. What do you guys think?
It can be a setup for the Mirana arrow later on.
Hey!
Or Centaur, and EG doesn't have ET this time around, so Centaur ban does make a bit of sense.
So you think Sand King's not as bad now? Because the ET's not there?
Yeah, it's definitely worse because Sanking Mirana, the dual combo, yes, the damage is there, but it's too like one-dimensional, the damage. Like, it's bad against BKBs, it's gonna fall off eventually because the damage is linear. It doesn't scale well.
Then over the CM that they used in the first game, I think this is also just dictating that they want to play really aggressive like they did with the CM last time.
Yeah.
Allows everyone to just be constantly on the map more, because you always have that aura, you can always keep pushing out lanes, you can always keep playing aggressive, and you can even have threaten the lane, as we saw them do with that CM in the first series, or in the first game.
It's a good form of damage from position 5 towards the Enchantress team, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. The freezing field for ultimate is really useful in a lot of cases against the
5 seconds remaining.
Si top bat.
So
Looks like a pretty decent hero for OG here.
yeah, I believe they got banned second phase in the first game in a similar situation.
Feels good versus all these just like high magic damage. Tiny is sure you have high armor, but very high HP hero that Lifestealer really enjoys playing versus.
Yeah, the only time it's good versus Tiny or for Tiny is when he gets his Axe and you can do like ranged heavy physical damage.
Could be a carry that you should be looking at here, but I don't know if they'll pick it in the third. They might save it.
They could have 0 supports on the board right now, a little bit abnormal. Anything else really good? Ogre is still in the pool.
Juggernaut looks okay for GSler.
Which hero? Juggernaut? Oh, okay. Yeah, similar as the Lifestealer.
Wow. With this Rubik pick, it seems like it's an Invoker mid, right?
Yeah, that's what you'd think. And this is actually cool. We saw now what? The LGD series, I've been seeing a lot of teams actually picking the Rubik versus the Mirana now, just because you're likely to get a pretty damn good steal. Like, everything is good. Leap is probably like your worst one, and it's a triple way to either get in or get out as a Rubik, which isn't bad to have. Arrow is a great spell because you're going to get the extra duration. Rubik pick a lot that I've been seeing from teams today, versus that Mirana in particular.
Yeah, it's against CM too, which is another, like, it feels really great playing Rubik against CM. Order spurs are pretty nice. And you kind of can't ulti against Rubik, because Rubik's CM ulti is so much stronger than your ulti.
Yeah.
And even if he stuns somebody else, he can still possibly throw them into her, interrupt her ultimate.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was a really good Rubik pick, but I'm kind of afraid for this Invokers game. Like we saw in the game 1, I felt like EG Mirana can roam to mid. Meanwhile, like Rubik cannot kind of roam to mid to kill the Tiny. And Tiny versus Invoker matchup in general, Tiny seems to have the upper edge. And we don't even know if it's I guess it's a Tiny mid. Like, it should be a Mirana for Tiny mid.
Yeah, that's what I mean, that's probably the more than likely. Yeah. We know Sumail loves to play Tiny as well, as we saw last year, of course, when he had the 30-something kills or whatever when he ran over the whole game.
It's like literally this match in this part of the bracket a year ago. He broke the all-time kill record for a single game. Got 30 kills. It was an insane match, and then Sumail still lost the match.
That was versus OG too, right?
Yeah.
And that was the one. That was the damage mitigation draft where they had Spectre, Io, Centaur, and I remember he's just running around, and then he tossed Arteezy into the tier 4s. Of course, that happened in that game.
Hey man, he got 30 kills. I do not care. You cannot say that one was Sumail's fault. He messes up once, but
ask BSJ about that. You know, he blames Sumail entirely for that game.
Really?
Yeah.
This pick's kind of throwing me off because it should be easy crit. Crit on Dark Willow is one of his favorite heroes. He's amazing at that hero too.
Yeah, wait a minute.
What about a 3 Mirana? I mean, really, Mirana could hypothetically lane in any situation.
That's true. I guess they could still do that 3 Mirana and then having this.
But 3 Mirana with a Willow, that seems too squishy. So I think it's a mid Mirana and Tiny offlane.
Okay,
that makes more sense.
That makes more sense, yeah.
Is it that squishy versus Rubik? I mean, Willow can get 2. You get Cursed Crown, toss that on a guy, that's an arrow, for sure. Plus Bramble Mace follow-up, maybe kill potential. And crits, Dark Willow is excellent.
Yeah.
And Dark Willow has tons of magic damage, so she's going to be able to kill the Enchantress. She's going to rush the Spirit Vessel. It kind of fits a lot of boxes. The only thing that's weird about it is it's going to force Mirana into a weird role, potentially. Not a non-standard for the current meta.
Evil geniuses turn
to they're going to go for that jug now, especially versus the Willow. I think it's so good versus that hero.
Lifestealer was an option too, I think. But I think
what makes Jug better?
I think OG, they're the healing ward. They can just keep on there's 2 heroes, the Nature's Enchantress's hero and Juggernaut healing ward, so they can just keep being on the map.
Turn to ban.
So I think the Jug is better versus the Willow overall because you can actually do something when she's inside of her realm. You can actually spin and do some damage as well. It's a small, but it's something.
Alright, last phase of bans here.
Apa ya
Oracle banned out
satunya?
once again. They are anticipating the save hero. Any other save heroes?
10 seconds
Do
remaining.
they need a save hero with the Jug carry?
5 seconds
He kind of protect
remaining.
himself. There's no BKB piercing disables on EG at all right now, so that spin is gonna be really useful for himself to protect them.
And one thing EG is actually really missing this game, unlike what they had last game, was they don't have a setup stun other than Tiny. So it's going to be really difficult for Mirana to get arrows unless it's like Dark Willow. Basically, it's a delayed stun. So
Frostbite. I mean, it's not amazing, and it doesn't usually come out like a laning phase, really. But I mean,
correct.
Yeah, it's not an easier combo to hit.
Yeah, it's still
But when BKBs come out for OG, then they will have defensive options against EG's. They go for sinking. So
that's their 5 position Enchantress, then, right?
Yeah,
that's right. That's the no-tail Enchantress.
It's a very weird lane, but I always see No-Tail pulling it off. The Enchantress and the Juggernaut lane. Usually Juggernaut wants some disable from position 5, so they have that nice disable into split combo, but let's see how No-Tail pulls this off.
Yeah, he can also, so he has also the Dispel as well versus the Willow. That can be kind of nice to...
Ngejago game ya gua.
Other
Tapi pengen
way
game
around.
menang.
Just kidding.
It's okay, we all make mistakes.
Tapi nggak kayak ngejago
It's been a long day.
Your mistake was way less egregious than mine
Lebih
was.
doyan
I'll let it
ngeliat
go.
game serunya.
I was like, what am I saying right
So
now?
what is the carry hero needed for EG here?
I know, that's a question you're supposed to answer.
Maybe it's Slark. I can see Slark being okay.
Arteezy Slark. Whoa, whoa. That's what we said, right? The anti-mages, they trickle back into the TI meta. And he's versus that, potentially what the core, I mean, not potentially, but the core invoker. So, high mana pool.
But I don't think it's the strongest hero this game.
Why do you think they went for it?
Juggernaut's pretty good against anti-mage.
Yeah.
I think they went for it because it's really great against Zanking and the Rubik.
Okay.
Like lane-wise, it'll be easy.
Lane-wise and game-wise. Lane-wise, I'm not so sure. Like he might have a tougher time, but I know like in-game it's gonna be pretty easy. But Juggernaut is pretty good against anti-mage.
Alright guys, that's the final draft here for this last upper bracket match. We've got a really good game ahead of us. Let's toss it over to Toby and Sind.
This game 3 is the decider, but who this time around will take the 2-1 and that winner's bracket position? OG and EG, interesting drums once again. It's always interesting when you bring out a Magna Nio, but you're loving the nice little switch up from OG as far as the lane rolls go.
Yeah, they gave away the Enchantress again, and as the panel was talking about, this Enchantress, wait, they picked Zanking, this Enchantress has got to be support now, and that's why they picked the Anti-Mage. This is the worst match. I love playing Zanking. It's one of my favorite off-laners. I hate playing against Anti-Mage. It is so bad of a lane matchup, and that's a big part of the reason EG picked it here, is to force that matchup as well as it being good against the Invoker in the game. However, OG step it up a notch, they're like, okay, we need to solve this. We saw them in the booth, they were doing it well, and they've decided that they will put the Zanking position 4, and No-Tail is playing 5 Rubik. That's for them to solve this problem. It was kind of a checkmate situation almost, but they got out of it. And now it's just about, can they solve its lanes? Can they score? It's very unusual.
The panel was already saying, like, somehow No-Tail makes to support it as well. Now making the support Rubik work. How do you try and lane this up then to make it actually happen? We've seen Seb do his work. GPRO, in my mind, amazing in game 2 on that ES. He's still going to play the same team role, team stunner, team fire role that OG really need from him as well. But how do you still ensure that No-Tail has a good game on this fight for Rubik?
Fortunately for him, he's not carry and lane. He's a pretty good laner, and there's no matchup in this that he totally can't deal with. So
pasti dia ngepin yang ke pojok terus
spin and telekinesis grab. It's old, but
yes,
it could still work.
But the problem with that is Rubik deals so little damage. That's the problem with that combo in the start. When Rubik hits level 3 and has 2 and Faithful, sure. But if you compare it to something like Lich Jugger or Crystal Maiden Jugger, there's just way more in the way of damage from those two supports in the lane. So it's definitely a weaker version. But I honestly, I just love it from OG that they're doing this, because I think it's a very creative and probably ideal solution to the problem that they have to solve. The question is if it's good enough. And it's also about what lanes they get. Because you get the core Zanking out of the problem against Anti-Mage, but guess what? Support Zanking also hates facing Anti-Mage, so you still need to get the lanes right and go from there, and it looks like EG might have the right read in this game. They've put their tiny top so far.
And Anti-Mage is down on the bottom lane with Fly.
Yeah, they want the Anti-Mage to avoid the Ench. So that will mean NZXT will not play against Senheiser. So it's a bit of a win for both teams in that sense. Senheiser will have a better time up here, but NZXT will also be avoiding the edge.
That was nice from Fly right underneath the Juggernaut, grabs the ring. So it's 3 for 1 at the very beginning.
This aggro trialing from EG is very unorthodox, by the way. Crystal Maiden, Dark Willow, NZXT aggro trialing.
It's like you go for the Nova, then they have to navigate the Bramble at slow speed. Like, this can't last for long, can it?
Well, it's kind of good news for Ana, because he's good against this lane. But No-Tail could have a very hard time, and the question is how much farm he's going to get. Oh, that's some really good damage into Ana already, actually. They're playing without a healing salve in that bottom lane.
Yeah. Bottom lane they go ham, Samael
Woi, kamera, halo, kamera.
Woi, kamera! Seru itu dibawa, Cuk.
Like, just on the other side of the trees.
Ya Allah.
Moshi, kamera, halo.
Free hits in on Ana, just burning off the mana as fast
Dia
as
di ke atas, Cuk.
Ana has to
Nah,
get to the mango to spin layer.
mati Ana.
Ya, salah prediknya anjing.
He refused to skill spin because he feels like he needs healing or to sustain.
Anjing itu apaan? Bendera Sasuke anjing.
Put in his skill point and hasn't bought any extra regen. There's no salve. Still coming in. No-Tail had
Itu yang kanan, Cuk.
honestly surprised that they didn't drop some regen and bring that with honest TP.
Now the EG have the advantage. They're moving to the top lane.
8 for 3 against 1-0.
Sasuke Itachi bangsat.
Fly anjing yang pakai bendera itu.
Fly.
Thompson and Samel, what a surprise, killing each other into the tier 1 tower. Samel gets the kill, so he'll get the XP.
Yeah, big winner there, Samel. He got more gold and he got the experience. So he's going to feel good about that one.
Because that's just the way the mid lane gets to work when it's a 1-1 trade.
Sometimes the guy who gets the kill second is not as unfavored as Thompson was in that exchange, but
it's actually hilarious how they start again. Thompson's back under the tier 1 tower, beating into Samel. They both have to start munching on tangos and dropping down a half-life bottom lane. Arteezy, he's going once again on Ana. Still holding the spin as Arteezy drops low. They just want to get some experience into them. While S4 enchanted up, buying GRX some time to attack, and he's body blocking S4. Trying to buy more time for Seb to get damage in, but S4 will just salve this off.
Sprites are with us.
in the meantime, bottom lane, they're out of regen. OG completely dry. Actually, never mind. Ana got a tango pack left. But no salve still, no regen, no mana, no tail in the bramble.
Jelek banget landingnya.
Build up the mana and then it's just easy harassment from range.
The good news for OG though is the top lane is going well. Sep has great farm. They're shutting down the Tiny nicely, as they should be with the head start they had. But the other two lanes going well. He's not getting shut down, and the way they've been playing this series so far, I think you can consider this an early lead. That is what they want. Anti-Mage to have a beginning that he can work with. Is that a healing? That's a Ring of Health flying out? No, it's a Wraith Band and some more regen for Arteezy. So he can keep on the pressure.
Just loving him, even the form is used. I think that was actually so the tree toss from S4 wouldn't get the kill on the range creep on top lane. They're really just trying to keep him down as much as possible, and they have. He's, as he said, he's 5-0. The lane's looking good, but bottom lane, Arteezy just gets more and more time to beat into him. And now another root blink forward from Arteezy. No-Tail navigating the brambles. He'll get the space, but he will not escape crit. He's on top of him, I think, to this clip from crit, but it won't work.
And I wonder how Ana's going to recover this time around. We saw in the Void game, the lane might have been a little bit hard, but he recovered nicely. This time around, it just feels harder. Their lane...
Sudah abang-abangan guys, Mel guys di mid.
It's an anti-mage and a Willow. You can... Maybe you can get a lift on the Willow and toss it into a spin, but it's not enough damage, and the anti-mage is just flat out unkillable. Look at Willow just leaving Arteezy even to go into mid. They're trying to get Thompson, Brambles.
He was standing almost smack bang in the middle of one of crit, and he just moves a little bit further north and dodges.
Nice movement from Thompson there. That could have absolutely been a kill.
And what does Ana and No-Tail do instantly? Alright, well, it's time to do some damage towards Arteezy. Hopefully I get one crit, and he got one.
Oh, he got tossed up Thompson. To the tower.
Too deep.
Oh no, he can't die here. That's real OG's laning. That is such a good kill. Now GRX might have to He might have to yield on the bounty runes too. He has no one chances to help him out, so OG will get 3 runes, or EG, sorry, will get 3 runes, maybe even 4. So Mail
is moving over for it. That's
Seb is too late. 4 runes and a kill on the Ench. Seb was out of position and got tossed.
I like how Fly is not even grabbing it. He's waiting it out. Maybe he can even get some bottle charges if he wants to help out. GALAX waiting on the top lane. S4 is nearby. They'll go for the Frost. Quick Mango. Anything they've got. GALAX, he's in bits for the moment. The tree toss, a little bit off target. GALAX able to dodge. But this is some time that's being wasted by Samaya looking for this kill. He'll take the catapult up on top, but Thompson's in recovery mode in mid, while this rotation doesn't net a kill.
Are EG gonna swap their lanes so Tiny goes mid now, or what's the plan here? Leaving the lane empty like this is a bit odd.
I think they're trying to wait until S4 returns to the lane, and now the TP happens.
Now he's half a level behind Thompson though.
Anna is getting forever rooted by Crit on bottom lane.
Dire's
There's 1 tango left. He'll have to consume the mango in order to have enough to get the healing ward down, but how's he meant to be instantly taken care of by Crit? There's no sustain at all. It's almost like there's no hope for Anna down here.
And Crit gets that extra mana coming in constantly from the Maiden Aura. He might be down. Jax is in range. Not anymore now. He's gonna wrap around.
Relax, Zeller.
Relax, Zeller. I need to choose. I prefer to get the kill over on RTZ, but it seems impossible unless they have full control, pick up, throw down. The spell shield's leveled up at 4, and RTZ just trades places with GALAX. Level 2 in Shadow Realm has enough damage to pop Anna once more, his second death of the game.
Istirahat dulu, istirahat. RTZ now as well coming in a sec. Going to be furthering his lead in this lane, making the harassment that bit harder.
I almost feel like Seb is taunting to try and get EG to come back to him.
Oh, I'm sure he's muted. Don't worry about it. There's no way. He's absolutely
kurang nih chat wheel-nya.
So, Antimate with the red health will be that big harder to harass now for the Rubik. He's going to continue his farming down here in the bottom lane.
It really feels like Thompson's just had the last 3 minutes by himself in mid lane.
That's the biggest difference between this game and the other Invoker game, is that Thompson is having a much better time this time around, and we know what kind of tempo he can set for his team this kind of games. But does he have targets? It's hard to kill Willow as Invoker. It's hard to kill the Anti-Mage as Invoker. It's hard to kill Mirana as Invoker. And even the Tiny, the targets, it's easy to kill Maiden though. So that's nice.
It's almost like you need to pick up an Orchid in order to get the kills on these guys. So I think he needs to counter you back.
He needs someone to combine with, but the best player for him to combine with is a Saint.
Ini chat wheel-nya langsung kenceng Blay.
Dia kan tukang tukangnya ini tukang lempar dia.
Under their own dire observer. You've been taunting for a while. You've been asking EG to kill you, and well, you may get exactly what you wish for. Seb gets the 1 level of an attendance. Stick charges, but he's got the curse crown on him. He can't walk this off. The TP's coming in from Rubik. Nortel will look to create the space. And Seb, well, he can walk it off. Even with his tree toss from S4, I don't think he's got enough damage, and even Nortel D-wards the
RTZ does have the main Nora though, so we'll get mana for Blink a bit sooner. Has the stick charges if he really needs to blink.
Ini aku suka nih, kalau playstyle udah kayak gini nih.
Thompson's ready to fight. Thompson in back, he's stun me too. S4 able to do a cheer. He gets a double stun of his own. They get the telekinesis grab over on S4.
Mati nih ya, cakep.
Ambil itu S4.
Mati nih S4. Mati cu.
Oh, cakep itu. RTZ jangan disuruh farming.
Needs to get the attendance over towards Thompson. Now they can turn their attack over. He's arrived as well. Looking for that damage. Have they got enough? Samel has the lead distance to get away to safety.
Oh, mati Thompson.
Again, that first round, it's going to get the stun. The quad, it will not be enough life and sustain to keep Thompson alive. And Samel will quite happily take that kill.
Man, there's so much happening on the map right now.
Oke, space for Ana.
Was bottom the whole time. So much space being made for him. He's caught up. He's actually overtaken Arteezy now after that very difficult laning stage in the beginning. The one kill they got bottom, and then this move mid created a lot of time for him.
10-minute runes, here we go again. If you thought it was going to sit down, GPRO will take the bounty to begin with. They're looking over towards Crit. GPRO looking to actually cut through. It's a level 3 burrow, so he's not in range. And the Shadow Roll being used just to protect him for the moment. He'll slap an extra attack into no tell for sure. Meanwhile, Top's in alone in mid lane.
Oke, AM-nya di musuh Enchantress.
Like Ana gets space, but then when you go down to deal with Ana, you deal with another lane, then Thompson gets space. Like, which poison do you want to die to here? The only other choice is
sebenarnya yang bingung ini Arteezy mana?
Iya ya. Wah, Thompson benar cuy. Kumat. Thompson kumat lah.
Udah dapet space ya, Pak. Ada ngasih space. Relax. Aduh.
Wah, anjing sakit banget cuy putusnya.
Mati nih, balikin.
Mati ceritanya.
Balikin grip. Wah, udah dikasih kan.
I think the arrow wasn't ready, or Sumail would have definitely got that on the crown. Probably had a minor cooldown from the... Oh, did he even use it? I'm actually not
Iya, playstyle-nya tiba-tiba berubah gitu, cuk, anjing.
It got thrown in the end.
Tapi yang bisa berubah tempo.
That was a guaranteed stun if he used it earlier, so maybe it was on cooldown. That's all this is happening as... What does Seb do? Seb's gonna defend it for now. He just walks in.
That's fine. What are these creeps gonna do? They'll swing their arms up in the air. For the Troy. A lovely sit.
Damn it.
Oh, I got him before you.
Dyer's top tower
Hey,
my joke.
Hey, I got you with the Ghostbusters, man. I got you with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, I was not thinking about that.
Yeah. Does anyone even know what that song is?
Lihat modnya ini, Arteezy. Bawa langsung nanti.
Really hope so.
Bingung
Most
langsung.
people don't even know what Bonanza is.
GP top from S4. They want to try on Ana here. This kill is actually flat out impossible for these two heroes. He can spin CPR.
Yep. Problem with the Avalanche, never a permanent
He doesn't have a team.
We'll take out the healing ward. GALAX is nearby. You may have to burst to create some space, or he's just like, okay, Hannah, I'm sorry, man. You can only size if you want to, but you're dead.
Oh, I didn't click him to check he had a TP before that. But EG very clearly did. And they ran him down. That is a huge kill. He was the richest hero on the map.
Nama Thompson sering banget offset deh.
In every game, Ana's just being left alone. And will get killed once in a while. These kills are big.
I remember the analyst panel, they're talking about like the way OG plays, like, hey, we're up on the top lane, and it was always Seb who was kind of the one who was out too fast, like, hey, come and kill me. How many heroes did it take from EG to kill off the Juggernaut? Yeah, he's worth a lot, but then you get heavy damage into the tier 1 towers. Seb, who was the number 1, they're giving more back into him, and he's going to try and return it in where the drums build early on. And just add that level of pressure. And meanwhile, Thompson also farming up. Straight into Spirit Vessel, no hand of Midas on this Invoker.
And there's another big item coming up. This one is for EG though. It's going to be the dagger for S4 and 100 gold. Some really good targets for him in this game. A lot of the Radiant heroes don't have too much max health. The Rubik support dies very easily. The Invoker dies really easily. The Enchantress also dies easily if there's a little bit of follow-up. Speaking of Enchantress, they're actually, again, they're trying
Pulang Blake ke rumah AM-nya.
There's more support coming in under the cover of smoke to both sides. Arteezy was being hunted, but Arteezy's game sense is tingling. And he just moves away and goes down to the Trinity camp we were talking about. Now, I'm being invaded in my own jungle. The Observers and Sentries now being defaulted out bottom lane. Set. Okay. Hey, real CM's channel full duration.
They threw everything in the kitchen. Not just the sink that time.
Oh, they'll get a lot of it back. Sumail's found a regeneration rune in bottom river.
Sumail not skilling Moonlight Shadow, by the way. What is this? Not a single point on him? I mean, he could only have one, but he's level 10.
He went for the 200 health instead.
it can be really useful for his team. Like, it can be the difference maker, but whether AM survives a gank or not. Is that worth 1 point in arrow? How about that? Okay.
I was actually kind of wondering too, like how he would build it. We were kind of tossing up like where do you get a lot of your physical damage from? Like how do you make sure? Like, obviously, there's no physical build coming in this time around. There's 200 health. We're not going to 15 damage, and he's going in for Aghanim Scepter. Huge lane clearance, and something that OG may not have an easy answer to. Like both cores are going for Battle Furies, but Anti-Mage as well as Mirana, they can clean waves up so quickly and they're so highly maneuverable.
Radiant are scared.
TP comes in. The fear will be there, and that's going to force the Enchantress to run away. But Anna's in pretty deep. Still has Omnislash available to head down damage thanks to Demon Head. And he'll take the entire Omnislash. As the rest of EG back up behind the tier 2.
It was a good idea from S4, but he missed the toss on the jugger. He tossed a creep instead that got in the way.
Seb, you're right, man. Like, they're under a shrine. He's got a lot more avalanche. Toss up into the arrow, and Thompson's trying to help out with the calls now, pushing Smell away. Now going to get the Zotel's still there. The mana.
Dibalikin, cok. Mati arti si goblok.
Nice.
Mati lagi critnya cuy. Sep.
Dia tuh gak bisa skill 2 tuh.
Up in Norway, farming the top lane.
Ini loh, ini momentumnya, temponya ini.
It feels like I don't know if Enchantress manages to do this in her games to just tempt everyone to try for these hard kills. If it's just a tilt effect, like you get annoyed, you're like, just kill the Enchantress. But
let's just get him.
It's really costing EG here that they try to go for these Enchantress kills. They've got 200. How many have they failed, and how much time has that cost them?
It's cost them a lot. Juggernaut has finished a Battle Fury before the Anti-Mage.
Arteezy is not even close. He's 2,000 gold away from it right now.
The Graph in golden experience gets to swing up. EG has obliged OG with a lot of fights, but they need to be able to settle this game down. They need the Aghanims, they need the split push, they need the Battle Fury, they need a lot of things. But what is OG doing? Not giving them the room to breathe. Already attacking into the tier 2 tower on bottom lane.
The tempo is so high now from OG. Now they can kind of do whatever they want.
8.000 anjing.
We'll get a dagger very soon.
Mati nih S4. Diangkat.
And there's no other support coming in from EG. I thought it was coming from OG. It was a 17-minute blink dagger for a support SK. We're wondering how you can make these two very non-financially viable supports when it's so hard to play, but it's worked when Durex has a blink dagger as fast as the normal offlane to get them.
Dire are scanning.
Mel gets a DD.
Soan ngehit kabur anjing.
Very upset about fighting against Durex even with that DD.
I was thinking about it, but...
Santai A.
Good observers and sentries from EG. Jirax, oh, he'll cop that arrow. Still in the sentry. They're going up the support and they've got him.
Aduh, kena juga Seta.
Making life a little bit more difficult for the Dark Willow. He wants to battle. They have sentry versus sentry. Somebody get rid of that flies moving forward. You can definitely see them. They're sentries.
Sakernya masuk.
That's a good combo. Really good jump in. The Bramble. He'll catch out Anna. He's got He can turn around. There's only one creep that's there.
Wah gila.
I think it's for... Or, sorry, not as far. I think Sumail's in the arrow because...
Salah belok. Mau belok kemanapun kena cuk.
Get another kill. The observer won't bless them see. Fly, he knew he had to dodge, moved down to the side, and then just his easy pickings.
I'd love to see a replay of that because that was so beautifully executed from EG, how they did the avalanche toss into the terrorize on the jugger. All they needed was to connect an arrow, but I think Seb just ran in front of the of the Sumail Marana and he couldn't land it. That's got to be what happened. And that's huge for the outcome of that. Instead of losing their biggest core, they get 2 kills. And sure, RTZ's getting some space, but man, this is, by his standards, super late battle period. And he had a good start, too.
EMP Tornado catching him up on the top, but Shadow Roll will add some protection. He's got no more mana to work with. We'll get the damage into Notel, hung around a little longer. Arrow, it flies forward. A nice long 5-second stun. Over on the Rubicon, now go down and fly. They kill off Thompson. EG, they needed something, and that's something. Seb? I'll do this solo. Maybe I won't. Anna's nearby. RTZ. A spell, counter spell up and running. Anna's not going to take that risk of an Omni Slash. Maybe now it's time to pick up those bounty runes. 4 of them on the field. They've been there for 30 seconds. An unusual occurrence for 20-minute bounty runes. But there's just so much fighting with 26 kills 20 minutes into this game.
Sumail with the scouting arrow. Doesn't find anyone. If JRX knew, he would have taken the other one as well. He gets one. And that's I think 3-for-1 trade of bounty runes in total. Once Anna gets his shit together and takes this one. He doesn't want it, I don't know. He wants to push the wave first, that's fine. Now he's gonna take it on the way back. Farm the big camp.
And JRX is really just trying to stay on RTZ like a tick.
So is he doing this to just annoy us? It's there. He's not baiting it either.
It's income, it's coming in value. Maybe 1 gold, but it's value.
He felt like nobody from EG was gonna come and try to take that. Because it was not set up as a bait, there was nobody there that would have killed on the ground. So
the alacrity buff ups up. Attack speed increased by 100, damage by 10. And Roshan, difficult to kill off. Once again, it's Enchantress. Even Roshan thinks she's untouchable.
Are scanning.
But what does EG do? They scan Roshan. They know what's going on, but how fast can you move over? You're gathering for a smoke, but Roshan's practically dead. 1.4k, 1k, and they're good set, going for what? Nothing. TP over does nothing. They stay with the lanes.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And JRX is set up bottom. They want to connect over and try to kill RTZ probably. Never mind.
Just gonna push out the wave. Just counterspelling just in case. YG can move through mid. It has been the name of their game throughout this tournament. 20 minutes, 22 minutes hits. Let's go high ground, boys. Anna the front liner. Able to get quick entangle, but hey, spin's also great from Anna. Sumail's getting some level of damage.
They have so much sustain. They have the Enchantress heal, they have healing ward. They're gonna go in with the next wave. He has the spin and alacrity. They're just gonna slowly chip this down. And RTZ in the meantime has to try to get as much as possible. They don't want to take this fight because realistically OG are not favored in this.
Here we go again. Spin, attack, fortify has to be used. RTZ, as he said, like, he's refusing to join this fight. EG just have to hold the high ground.
They might have to actually before they can fight. I think RTZ without Manta in this game is not going to be particularly useful.
Thompson's hunting. 460 move speed inside of that Ghost Walk. Yep. Looking for a target, actually just inside the smoke. Like, that's not Ghost
backing
Walk.
off, this became pretty obvious to RTZ that something is up. But he doesn't, this is the thing about Quaswex Invoker compared to Exort Invoker, is Invokers playing this build are generally really high on mana, so you will be looking for, okay, maybe RTZ can come in toward the end of the fight and get a big mana void that gets kills, but if you hit this EMP on a couple of heroes, you're super high on mana the whole time. And even that won't be an option for him.
EG's coming out. Moonlight Shadow and Smoke being committed. They want to wrap around the back. They want to do something about JRX. You probably need a ward up on this hillside to make it happen. CM's got one, both Sentry and Observer. Fly drops the Sentry to begin with, Observer straight after. While that's been happening, there was no defense. Tier 3 tower is gone, but even a couple of creeps to help the push go. He's going to take the melee ranks. You said EG may have to pay the price.
Halo! Halo! Ayo Yan!
Aduh, sekali lagi tuh. Oh, dibunuh mana Notel, Blay. GG.
Epi.
Paham ya.
As OG look for another lane of rounds. Pushing through. Crit, he's getting the chip damage into top.
Ya, AM-nya mana? AM-nya apa?
He's still farming everything away. He will not choice.
Halo?
Mana
AM-nya?
He's losing his teammates. And what does Arteezy want to do?
AM-nya enak, Cuk.
The answer for anti-mate.
Dikasih. Ditip cuy Arteezy.
Keep on pushing. There's no timing for 50 seconds. This is. It's
cuma dapat tower 1 anjing.
They don't have the damage. They can't kill this hero. Jump in.
Oke. Lagi. Oke, salah.
GG.
He tried to get the active and damage out. But now he doesn't have a way Arteezy's trying to grab the highway, but they're all pushing the bottom lane's pushed in, which is allowing this pressure from OG up on the top. That's fly. mansentrya, he doesn't give two reads. He's got the skill that are available. Triple gets the chip damage into Nortel, but he has BKB is up for Arteezy.
Arteezy mati GG lah.
He'll blink away. Regeneration is required. Salving up so they can get back to the point. They can't lose all these lanes of rush. Tiding is back up again. The TP's coming to the sideline. Here comes S4. Avalanche. Top. They go towards Thompson. And maybe they got enough damage. Arteezy.
Mati, Arteezy gak ada efek. Dadah iki. Dadah. Turun ya.
Masih live, guys. Live lupa.
Ada Obi.
GG.
Dadah. Ini 26. Sehat.
26 menit live.
Habibah, halo, sehat.
I just want to point out how fast this happened. The game was really even for first 15 minutes.
Gak ada ngebet. Colanya.
Bos nanti terus menang itu lagi. Arteezy shows up and dies. And since then it's been naik tapi gak ada Arteezy. They go push with their invincible jugger with healing.
Sebenarnya sakit, aduh sedih.
This is the last chance for EG.
Aduh GG, aduh.
Dikasih satu game udah
disalamin. Aduh disalamin lagi, aduh.
Loser.
Display loser, pulang dulu gak asik nih.
Looking for an opportunity and Anna, he's begging for it.
Nakupu.
They're into the trees. Arteezy blinks away, and maybe he'll be set up towards the air. The Corsair is there. He'll be able to get the nice chain step. Chris on line. Arteezy please damage. That sets away by the terrorize. Arteezy, the mana void is good, but is it good enough? The sustain from OG.
Aduh, gak mati. Aduh.
He has to jump back in again. Crit, S4, even
Salaman nih.
Aduh, disalamin. Aduh, ketik dong. Aduh. Diketik. Disalamin dong. Aku mau terus dulu disalamin.
Ih, salamin nih, pengen lihat nih.
Disalamin dong.
MVP-nya dikasih. Ini, Cuk.
Gini lagi anjing. Aduh. Salamin lagi dong.
Ini main kurs anjing si RTG teh anjing dia pindah.
Disalamin lagi ya. Aduh, disalamin.
Time. It needs space.
Disalamin.
Just these two deaths and the limited farm that he ended up having just gets overtaken, gets eclipsed by this juggernaut super quickly. And then when it comes to defense, well, guess what? You have an answer mage. It's kind of 1-5.
Udah siap-siap dia.
They put so much pressure. They take the Roche. They go all the Rex in one streak.
Congrats katanya.
And they just
Salaman.
they made it look really easy. But there's in this replay for EG, there 2 moments to go on the back.
Aduh, udah tolak pinggang dia, Blay.
This game is so different. And this hero is proving to be a huge problem. They won all 3 games in the series. It was a big the other team in all 3 of the games. But you gotta, against OG, you gotta choose. What do you want to ban?
And you gotta do something. OG, they're looking absolutely amazing. Even without Mag, they are a world-class team, looking to potentially be the first team to get back-to-back victories. Will it be possible? They look good. They look amazing. doubt is if you thought last year was maybe a fluke, OG are looking to prove it right now. The cool, calm, most definitely happy.
Pengen tahu game satunya mereka itu ngapain?
Very happy indeed. A year in between, two of the same rosters meeting on the grand stage of the international. The same result. OG moving forward. EG dropping to the lower bracket. Maybe just also say the handshake wasn't as hectic as I was hoping.
Anjing musuhnya post rank bangsa.
I don't know. You know, either the turnaround where they go hug each other.
Yeah. Or fly walks up, suplexes no tail, WWE style.
Or that, you know, probably not that. But, you know, I was expecting something, and it felt like, you know, last year there was a lot of emotion boiling. No-Tail talked about that in the documentary that came out recently. And, this time, it felt like, you know, he has it all worked out. All his emotions are, you know, that's why you got a psychologist on your squad. That works.
Sometimes you gotta control your emotions. You know, it worked for you one time, but, you know, maybe try something else out. And now, guess what? OG is guaranteed top 3.
Terus aja farming anjing.
Yang
Tsunami, I believe you had something to close out that series with the stats or with the replay. What do you got for us?
It's a bookending. The very first set of clips that we had featured a hero that you may know as Enchantress. Now, Sin had a great question. He saw a combination in the works, and you can see it already developing here. This is Dark Willow. She's about to terrorize this spot. You may see some around. It was just freshly avalanched. Seems like a real recipe for success, right?
Nice
team. In comes
Antonio Banderas.
Apakah udah di tim gak invite, Cuk?
Sudah. Kau pakai apa? Super Nair. Biar helm 3-nya nggak kayak kemarin.
Yoi, nggak diperngabunin lagi emang setan, Cuk.
Udah apa?
Cacat. Parah.
Ayo
Parah ada oneng.
Kok gitu sih? Ayo.
Ini saya bela sungkawa dulu anjing.
Ayo,
Lama. Ayo. Apa di? Gua ajak sparring nih ya.
RTZ. Gua gambar lu anjing.
Live chat. Udahan lah ya. OG versus TNC di final. Paling OG LGD lagi, Blay. Aing istirahat dulu, gengs.
Gambar anjing. Masa gambar muka, Cuk?
Ini gak paham ya, kasih dia pemahaman sedikit. Diajak sparring aja, ini orang gak di Bali dia.
OG LGD
gak macem-macem sama orang Bali mah, ampun.
Takut santet lewat air lu ya?
PUBG mager, Kis.
Anak ayamnya besok lewat air lo santetnya itu, Wildan.
Takut pindah ke kelapa itu, yang bawah, takut.
Kis semuanya. See you next stream, oke? Dadah.
Anjing, RTZ, astagfirullah.